Chapter 2963. Volume 1, Chapter 403. Boom. A massive explosion once again sounded out as the magic formation gave off a massive wave of power and turned into a massive ray of light that shot into the sky, causing clouds to swirl. A terrifying dragon's might spread out, causing the countless creatures in the vicinity to feel an intense fear, causing them to flee into the distance. Kacha! A loud and clear sound rang out, and the barrier around the sealed area shattered. Countless rays of sunlight shone in, and a large amount of black dragon chi also surged out. The exchange of light and chi made the scene very spectacular. In the deepest part of the sealed area, the sealing array was slowly disappearing. The powerful sealing power was also dissipating. Long Wushui stood there, suppressing his excitement. Many experts hurriedly poured their energy into it, dissolving the power of the seal. In the end, the sealing formation completely dissipated, and the power of the seal also dissipated. Ha ha ha! Long Wushui could feel the seal on his body dissipating, and he couldn't help but roar with laughter. Many experts also retracted their weapons. The old man smiled and said, "Congratulations! You're free now." Long Wushui smiled and replied, After being sealed for so many years, my strength has weakened greatly. I want to find a place to recover." Now wasn't the time to fall out with so many experts. Long Wushui believed that he was strong, but he wasn't a match for so many experts. Everyone present was at the level of a patriarch. Long Wushui just wanted to leave this place. Once she was free, no one would be able to control her. The dignified old man said with a slight smile, "Come back to the Dragon Clan with us, and we will help you recover your strength. Also, the young master should be back soon, and he should be very happy to see you. We hope that you can come back with the young master." "Will you be happy to see her?" Long Wushui revealed a sinister smile in her heart. She would let that brat regret it. After some thought, Long Wushui nodded. Sure. Now that she had just broken the seal, her strength was relatively weak. The Dragon Clan was indeed the best place for her to recover. As for other matters, they could wait until she recovered. As long as she recovered, he would not have to be afraid of anything. Hearing the dignified elder's words, the old woman said, "Is the young master coming back soon? We haven't seen young master for a long time." The dignified old man did not refuse. He smiled and said, "Welcome to my Dragon Clan as guests." Then, everyone flew towards the Longdi. By now, Zhao Fu had returned to the dragon's territory and had his subordinates collect the bloodlines. He still didn't know that Long Wushui had come out. After collecting the bloodlines, he would find a quiet place to merge them all. This time, he needed a massive number of bloodlines, and it would take some time to collect them. Zhao Fu wanted to go and meet the dragon ladies. A snow-white arm rested on Zhao Fu's shoulder from behind. Zhao Fu thought it was Dragoness, so he grabbed the arm and pulled the woman into his arms out of habit. When he saw the woman in his arms, Zhao Fu jumped in fright. The person in front of him was actually Long Wushui. Wasn't she sealed? When did it come out? Long Wushui was in Zhao Fu's embrace, glaring at Zhao Fu fiercely. "Brat, you're dead this time." Zhao Fu hurriedly tried to push Long Wushui away. However, Long Wushui hugged Zhao Fu tightly, not wanting to let Zhao Fu escape from her hands. The dignified old man and the others smiled when they saw this. They knew that the relationship between the two of them was not simple. Zhao Fu also noticed the dignified old man and the others, and was about to say something. Long Wushui warned, "If you dare to say anything, I'll kill you right now. They won't be able to save you so quickly." Zhao Fu was being hugged by Long Wushui, so he couldn't escape. He could only be obedient. The dignified old man smiled and said, "Young master, we understand that you two have a deep relationship, and you don't want your master to continue suffering. This time, we decided to release her. Seeing that you two have such a good relationship, we're happy. We didn't waste our efforts." Zhao Fu glared at the dignified old man. His heart was about to explode. Was this a good thing? This was completely killing him. Right now, Zhao Fu couldn't say anything. Long Wushui even pinched Zhao Fu, signaling Zhao Fu to look at him. Zhao Fu took in a deep breath and revealed a smile. Thank you everyone for helping my master remove the seal. The black-robed old man chuckled. Young master, you don't have to be so courteous. We're happy to help you and master. The blue-robed old man also smiled. Seeing that you two have such a good relationship, I'm a little regretful that I didn't help your master remove the seal earlier. Zhao Fu was infuriated. He wanted to curse out loud. These people had killed him, and they even dared to say such words. Long Wushui smiled as she pinched Zhao Fu's flesh. Seeing Zhao Fu like this, she felt extremely satisfied. The purple-haired old man asked curiously, Young master, why did you come back so soon? We thought that you would need to wait for a while. Zhao Fu nodded. After collecting the 8 types of sun powers, I still have many things to do. So, I came back to collect some things. Zhao Fu didn't mind, but the witch race looked at Zhao Fu in shock. 8 types of sun powers? How can there be 8 types of sun powers in this world? The person who recently shocked the entire primal chaos world and performed a great miracle was their young master? Thinking back to the sun god's cloaked appearance, wasn't that their young master? Why didn't they recognize him? Their hearts raced, and their expressions became agitated. They really didn't expect their young master to be so terrifying. Not only did he become the young master of the witch race, but he had also become a sun god. They didn't know what to say. Long Wushui also looked at Zhao Fu in shock. Although she was sealed, she had also felt that great miracle. She didn't expect it to be this man in front of her. Now that Zhao Fu was such a terrifying existence, even Long Wushui felt fear in her heart. She understood that if Zhao Fu was given some time, then Zhao Fu would definitely surpass her. Only then did Zhao Fu come back to his senses. Because the dragon race elder knew about these things, Zhao Fu did not hide anything and suddenly found out about the existence of others. The beautiful woman excitedly asked, Young master, are you really that sun god who controls the 8 suns? Zhao Fu nodded. The witch race elder also confirmed it, and their hearts were filled with joy. They couldn't see through Zhao Fu anymore, and they didn't know how terrifying Zhao Fu's potential was. Long Wushui couldn't help but ask, How did you become a sun god? Zhao Fu lightly laughed. I'm extremely talented. Can't I? Long Wushui lightly snorted, and pinched Zhao Fu to make Zhao Fu behave. Apex. Chapter 2964. Volume 1, Chapter 404. Death. The old woman smiled and said, Young master, we would like to have a good chat with you. Zhao Fu immediately said, Sure. Right now, Zhao Fu wanted to escape from Long Wushui. If he continued to stay in her hands, the outcome would be terrible. Long Wushui said, I have many things to tell him. The old woman smiled and said, all right then. We'll come over in a bit. The black-robed old man also smiled and said, It's been a long time since they've met. I believe they have many things to talk about. Let's all leave. Zhao Fu wanted to call out to them, as they were the only ones here. Only then would Zhao Fu be safe, as Long Wushui would not dare to do anything to him. But if they left, things might not be the same. However, Long Wushui forcefully choked Zhao Fu and said in a low voice, If you want to die faster, just say it. Zhao Fu could only swallow his words and watch them leave. Seeing them leave, Long Wushui immediately let go of Zhao Fu and grabbed Zhao Fu's collar, lifting Zhao Fu's body up and laughing, Kid! You can't run away now. Zhao Fu smiled and said, Let's talk. You won't get any benefits from killing me. Long Wushui snorted, I'll kill you even if I don't get any benefits. Kid, do you remember how you treated me in the sealed region? Zhao Fu argued, I gave you a chance, but you weren't willing. You can't blame me for that. I also agreed to release you. Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu, but now that I'm out, it's not you who undid the seal. Zhao Fu said, That's because of me. Without me, they wouldn't have released you. Long Wushui said, "Cut the crap. I'll repay you 100-fold for how you tortured me back then." Long Wushui picked up Zhao Fu and walked towards a room. After entering the room, she threw Zhao Fu into the room and did not place any restrictions so that others would not discover what was happening here. Zhao Fu lay on the ground, thinking about how to escape. Long Wushui was like an evil person, revealing an evil smile. Zhao Fu was lying there like a little girl who was being bullied. Zhao Fu spoke up, "I can give you the power of the desolate ancient dragon ancestor. As a member of the desolate ancient dragon race, I believe you wouldn't reject this power, right?" Long Wushui stopped where she was. The power of the dragon ancestor was indeed very attractive to her. Seeing that Long Wushui was moved, Zhao Fu immediately said, "As long as you're willing to let me off, I'll give you the dragon ancestor's power." Long Wushui laughed lightly. "You are in my hands now. Can't I take whatever power I want?" Zhao Fu's expression changed. Long Wushui laughed heartily. "You've also reminded me that your body contains many shocking powers. If I absorb you, I'll definitely become the strongest expert in this world." Zhao Fu said confidently, "You won't be able to obtain the recognition of power like this. Moreover, even if you're a higher being, you won't be able to withstand the power within my body." "Oh?" Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu in disbelief and said, "Our desolate ancient dragon race's constitution can be ranked in the top 5 in the outer world, and I'm a higher being. How could I not be able to withstand that power?" Zhao Fu looked at Long Wushui and said, "You can give it a try. Right now, my constitution is just a step away from breaking through to the origin body." "What?" Long Wushui looked quite shocked. Whether it was in the outer world or the Heaven Awakened world, the origin body was a top-tier constitution. Even in the celestial world, it was quite rare. As for breaking through to the origin body, Long Wushui had never heard of such a thing before. She wondered what grade it was to break through to the origin body. It already surpassed the mortal world. Celestials might know about it, as this grade was a legend in the celestial world. Only the celestial world could have such terrifying things. To Long Wushui, the origin body was something far beyond her reach. Now that she heard that Zhao Fu wanted to break through to the origin body, she could not react in time. Zhao Fu said, "I originally had the origin body, but I fused with 12 moons' power." "Wait," Long Wushui cut Zhao Fu off and asked, "You're saying that the 13th moon immortal is also you? The abnormalities in the outer world were also caused by you?" Zhao Fu gave a faint and arrogant smile. Long Wushui said in shock, "Boy, you're too terrifying. I can't let you live, or else I won't even know how I died." Zhao Fu's smile froze on his face, and he hurriedly said, "You don't have to kill me. I can give you the origin dragon's power and 12 moons' power, and our enmity can be written off. If you don't believe me, I can leave a restriction in my body." Long Wushui stared at Zhao Fu and said, "With that perverse constitution of yours, even if I leave a restriction in your body, it will be useless. Sooner or later, you will surpass me. To be safe, I have to kill you. But considering that I can obtain your ancestral dragon's power, I can torture you for a few hours less. We don't owe each other anything." The corners of Zhao Fu's mouth twitched. "You can do that?" Long Wushui laughed and said, "Since my body can't handle that much power, I won't be greedy. I just want to absorb one type of ancestral dragon's power." Long Wushui smiled and walked towards Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu's expression was a little ugly, and he retreated. Long Wushui grabbed Zhao Fu's hand and gave a trace of an evil smile as she said, "You won't be able to escape, so you might as well behave." After saying this, Long Wushui pressed a hand against Zhao Fu's abdomen, and a massive wave of power entered Zhao Fu's body. Even though Long Wushui had been prepared, she still felt incredibly shocked. She felt that Zhao Fu's body was like a boundless universe. She sensed Zhao Fu's full power, and her expression became one of shock. She took a step back, and her heart rapidly thumped. She had known that Zhao Fu was quite terrifying, but after sensing Zhao Fu's full power, she realized that she had underestimated Zhao Fu. She had never thought that Zhao Fu would be so terrifying. "You're from the heaven-awakened world?" Long Wushui's eyes gave off a cold light as she asked. No one would have thought that the legatee of the 10,000 Swords City, the primordial dragon race's young lord, the witch race's young lord, the evil celestial's legatee, the 13th moon immortal, and the innate sun god would be from the heaven-awakened world. The outer world and heaven-awakened world were enemies, and they had fought for over 10,000 years. Zhao Fu's expression became calm as he replied, "I'm from the heaven-awakened world, and I have 8 supreme emperor stars. If you're not afraid of the heaven-toppling fate backlash, you can give it a try. I don't believe you can withstand the backlash of 8 emperor stars." Long Wushui's expression fell. If what Zhao Fu said was true and he had 8 emperor stars, then Long Wushui indeed would not dare to kill him. She would not be able to withstand the fate backlash. Zhao Fu looked at Long Wushui and said, "Giving you the ancestral dragon's power is the best choice. Also, don't reveal my identity, or don't blame me." Chapter 2965. Book 1, Chapter 405. Destruction. Long Wushui said coldly, "Are you threatening me?" Zhao Fu said calmly, "That's right, I'm threatening you. Don't think that I can't kill you just because you're a higher being. Even if you're a half-step celestial, you won't be able to escape." Long Wushui laughed as she said, "I want to see how you'll act against me. If you have the power to kill me, you won't be threatened by me. Also, this barrier can block out all power, so it'll be useless no matter who you call." Zhao Fu slightly frowned. The method he was talking about was for the goddesses to come and kill Long Wushui. If his summoning was blocked, the goddesses would not know about it either. Long Wushui could tell what Zhao Fu was thinking and coldly laughed as she said, "There's nothing you can do now, right?" Zhao Fu said, "Don't force me, it won't be of any benefit to you." Long Wushui laughed as she said, "I won't force you, I'll absorb the dragon ancestor's power first. I won't kill you, but I'll reveal your identity. That way, everyone in the outer world will go mad and want to kill you. I can also imprison you somewhere forever and continuously torture you." Boom! A terrifying power flowed out of Zhao Fu's body as Zhao Fu immediately used the power of the 8 supreme emperor stars, preparing to go all out. Long Wushui sensed that terrifying power and immediately slammed out with her palm, sending Zhao Fu flying. This also interrupted Zhao Fu's summoning of the 8 emperor stars. Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu on the ground and smiled as she said, "What you're doing is useless. I won't give you any chances." Zhao Fu coldly looked at Long Wushui and did not say anything as he continued to think of ways to escape. Suddenly, Long Wushui frowned and her body gave off boundless white light as a shaman seal gradually appeared on her forehead. Long Wushui's expression fell as she felt the power within her body being sealed by a shaman energy, causing her power to quickly weaken. Long Wushui was the most familiar with the power sealing her, and she furiously yelled, "Shaman spirit, I'll definitely kill you." Zhao Fu also sensed the changes in Long Wushui, as well as the power she gave off. It was Shaman Spirit's power. Back then, Shaman Spirit had not chosen to kill Long Wushui and had sealed her there. She knew that Long Wushui would break the seal sooner or later, so in order to prevent the witch race from being harmed, so she had left a power in her body. This energy hadn't been injected directly by the Shaman Spirit, because Long Wushui would have sensed it. This energy had been injected into Long Wushui's body day by day through the sealing formation, so Long Wushui hadn't sensed it. If Long Wushui had not harmed the sorcerer race, she would have been fine. However, she had not only injured an ordinary sorcerer but the young lord of the sorcerer race. The instant that Long Wushui had injured Zhao Fu, a wave of power had flowed out of Long Wushui's body, and even she could not suppress it. As chun to fu I chun I li. Come and kill me. Zhao Fu smiled. Ha ha ha, venerable shaman spirit is the best. I knew you would do this. Didn't you say you wanted to kill me? Come and kill me now. Long Wushui glared at Zhao Fu angrily. Now that her power had been sealed, she was no different from an ordinary person. She was naturally not Zhao Fu's match. Without hesitation, Long Wushui ran outside. She had just treated Zhao Fu that way, and now that the situation had reversed, her outcome would be terrible. Zhao Fu laughed as he grabbed out. A huge force grabbed Long Wushui's body and pulled her into his embrace. He lifted Long Wushui's chin. It's too late for you to run now. Long Wushui angrily opened her mouth and bit towards Zhao Fu's hand. Zhao Fu covered her mouth with his hand and smiled as he said, "Do you still remember what you just said?" Long Wushui snorted coldly. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Don't worry, I won't kill you. In the future, you'll just be my servant." Long Wushui said coldly, "Dream on." Zhao Fu smiled happily and said, "See if I'm dreaming." A few days later, Zhao Fu looked at the rosy Long Wushui in his embrace and smiled. "This time, I'll teach you a lesson. Let's see if you still dare to treat me like that in the future." Long Wushui glared at Zhao Fu. "Help me undo the seal." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Do you think I'm that stupid? You won't kill me if the seal is undone?" Long Wushui snorted, "I can guarantee that I won't kill you." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "That won't do. Also, I wasn't the one who created the seal. I have no way of undoing it for you." Long Wushui said angrily, "As that slut's inheritor, why can't you undo the seal?" Zhao Fu pinched Long Wushui's mouth and said coldly, "Clean your mouth. Don't insult venerable shaman spirit like this. Otherwise, don't blame me." Long Wushui angrily slapped Zhao Fu's chest. "You've already treated me like this. What else do you want to do to me? You damn bastard." Zhao Fu snorted, "It's already good enough that I'm treating you like this. Also, don't you enjoy it?" Long Wushui's face turned red. Zhao Fu looked at Long Wushui's embarrassed look and revealed a smile. "I really can't help you undo the seal now. In the future, I'll do it for you." Long Wushui asked, "When?" Zhao Fu smiled and said, "When I'm stronger than you." Long Wushui thought about it. With Zhao Fu's shocking potential, he would most likely surpass her soon. However, it would be quite difficult for her to kill Zhao Fu. However, she had no other choice. She did not have any power to resist, and what she was most afraid of was that Zhao Fu would continue to seal her, making it so that she would never be able to break free. Long Wushui nodded. "Remember your words." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. Long Wushui's expression eased as she lay in Zhao Fu's embrace and asked, "Why did you come to the outer world?" Zhao Fu smiled as he replied, "To awaken the outer world's supreme emperor star." Long Wushui wanted to ask how a person from the heaven-awakened world like Zhao Fu could awaken the outer world's supreme emperor star. However, after thinking about it, Zhao Fu had already obtained the 12 moons' celestial power and 8 suns' power, and he was the young master of the sorcerer race's dragon race. Perhaps he could awaken the outer world's supreme emperor star. Long Wushui nodded and said, "You can give me the dragon ancestor's power now, right?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "You don't even have any power right now. Can you absorb the dragon ancestor's power?" Long Wushui nodded. "With the dragon ancestor's power, I can start cultivating again. I'll start as an ordinary person, and you won't have to worry about me being a threat to you." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "All right, I'll give you the dragon ancestor's power now." Zhao Fu turned one of his arms into a dragon and placed it on Long Wushui's back, sending a wave of pure dragon ancestor's power into her body. Only after sensing that there were no changes to the seal did Zhao Fu continue to send in dragon power. Apex. Chapter 2966. Book 1, Chapter 406. Dragon Ancestor's Power. Long Wushui closed her eyes as she absorbed the Dragon Ancestor's power. Sensing how strong it was, she revealed a trace of a smile. It was impossible for her to obtain this power. 10 minutes later, Zhao Fu retracted the Dragon Ancestor's power. Long Wushui opened her eyes and smiled as she looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Thanks." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "You know how to thank people?" Long Wushui lightly harumphed. "Why wouldn't I? Of course, I'm in your hands now. Otherwise, I'd eat you and digest all the Dragon Ancestor's power in your body." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "If you eat me, you'll definitely explode. Even you won't be able to handle the power in my body." Long Wushui pouted, "I want to eat you." Zhao Fu ignored her words and said, "I still have things to do, so I'll be leaving." Long Wushui asked, "You've already collected so much Primal World's power, what else do you want?" Zhao Fu replied, "To awaken the Primal World's Supreme Emperor Star, I need even more power." Long Wushui replied, "Oh." Zhao Fu stood up and left. The witch race had been waiting for a long time, and after hearing that Zhao Fu had left the room, they immediately called Zhao Fu over to their room. He came to the witch race's room. Zhao Fu looked at them and smiled as he said, "I wonder if everyone has anything to say to me?" The old woman smiled and said, "Young master, you're now the young master of the witch race, and we're willing to listen to your orders and help you. Do you think that we're outsiders?" Zhao Fu shook his head. The old woman smiled and continued, "Since we're not outsiders, why do you have things to do for us?" Zhao Fu explained, "It's because the fewer people who know about this, the better. It won't be good for me if too many people know about it, and it will affect my plans." The old woman smiled and said, "I can understand that, but young master, since we already know about this, can you tell us about it?" Zhao Fu nodded and briefly explained his situation. He didn't tell them everything. He only told them what the people of the Dragon Clan knew. Hearing Zhao Fu's words, the shock on the Sorcerer tribe members' faces grew. That's right, they had guessed that Zhao Fu's true goal was to obtain the Supreme Emperor Star. Even with their status and power, their hearts could not help but thump. To the people of the Primal Chaos world, this was something unimaginable and impossible to accomplish. Everyone looked at Zhao Fu. Now they understood how much they had underestimated Zhao Fu. The scholarly man smiled and said, "I believe that with young master's strength, you will definitely be able to awaken this Supreme Emperor Star." Zhao Fu nodded with a smile. The old woman smiled and asked, "I wonder what young master plans to do next?" Right now they still did not know if Zhao Fu was the legendary son of Origin, so he could not tell them about the bronze shard. However, Zhao Fu needed them to provide information about the bronze shard. Right now, Zhao Fu did not have any clues about the remaining bronze shards. Zhao Fu said, "I want to lure that son of Origin. I heard that he's currently collecting bronze shards. Do you have any information about the bronze shard?" Everyone started to think about it seriously. The old woman replied, "We don't have that information, but we will help you collect all information about the bronze shard and the son of Origin." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Thank you." The beautiful woman looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "Young master, you want to obtain Origin energy?" Zhao Fu nodded. Origin energy is the purest form of energy in the Primal Chaos world, and it is necessary to awaken the Supreme Emperor Star. The beautiful woman reminded him, "The son of Origin's identity is quite terrifying, so I want to remind young master to be careful. I'm not worried that the son of Origin will be a threat to young master, but I'm worried about the people behind the son of Origin." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I understand." The old woman smiled as she said, "Young master, when will you return to the witch race? Wu Ying, Hu Jiu, and the others greatly miss you." Zhao Fu replied, I'll go back and have a look when I'm free." Seeing that Zhao Fu did not seem to be in a rush, the old woman understood that she did not know when Zhao Fu would return, so she asked, "Young master, are you interested in Hu Yu, Long Hanshui, and Wu Rong?" Hu Yu was the beautiful woman in the red dress, Long Hanshui was the cold woman, and Wu Rong was the beautiful woman. The three women looked at the old woman strangely, but they quickly understood what she meant. Now, Zhao Fu could awaken the primal chaos world's peerless emperor star, and his bloodline would become the most powerful bloodline in the primal chaos world. No bloodline would be able to rival it, and it would be even more powerful than the primal chaos world's origin bloodline. If the witch race had such a powerful bloodline, it would be of great significance to the witch race. It would allow the witch race to become powerful, and such a bloodline could continue. Of course, ordinary people would not be able to give birth to Zhao Fu's children. Only women with powerful bloodlines would be able to do so. The old woman wanted the three women to give birth to Zhao Fu's children. In the future, even if Zhao Fu left, they could still nurture his bloodline. Zhao Fu looked at the three beautiful women and smiled as he said, "That's not too good, right?" The old woman smiled as she said, "What's wrong with that? You're the young master, and they should serve you. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm old, I would also want to serve young master. It would be our honor." The old woman's words caused a chill to run down Zhao Fu's back. Hu Yu lightly smiled as she said, "For the witch race, I'm willing. Young master, you don't have to be so courteous with us." Long Hanshui said calmly, "Young master, you don't have to take responsibility either. Our goal is to give birth to your children so that your bloodline can be passed down in the witch race." Zhao Fu helplessly smiled as he said, "All right. However, you can't blame me for not being able to give birth." The three women nodded. The old woman smiled as she said, "All right, we won't disturb young master anymore." The others smiled as they left, leaving only Zhao Fu and the three beautiful women in the room. Zhao Fu smiled as he walked towards them. Hu Yu gave a faint smile, Long Hanshui looked calm, and Wu Rong looked slightly shy. 3 days later, Zhao Fu looked at the three beautiful women in his embrace and smiled as he said, "I'll help you up to here. If you can't do it, you can continue to find me." Hu Yu blushed as she smiled as she said, "All right." Wu Rong said shyly, "You've taken advantage of us, yet you're still acting like you're not doing it." Long Hanshui's face was red as he said, "How long will it be before you leave?" Zhao Fu thought for a moment before replying, "I'll leave soon after I've dealt with the matter." Long Hanshui said, "Then let's continue." Zhao Fu lightly smiled as he said, "I still have things to do, and you don't have any strength left." Long Hanshui replied, "We'll recover soon." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "It's best if you all rest. I'll come back after I've dealt with the matter." Long Hanshui nodded. After Zhao Fu left the room, the three beautiful women quickly fell asleep. It was the first time they had slept so comfortably. Chapter 2967. Volume 1, Chapter 407. Battle. Just as Zhao Fu left the room, the dignified old man and the others found Zhao Fu. They knew that the witch race wanted to obtain Zhao Fu's bloodline, so they dragged Zhao Fu to the dragon race's women. They had long wanted to obtain Zhao Fu's bloodline, and did not want to fall behind the witch race. Finally, Zhao Fu went to his palace, or more accurately, Long Wushui's palace. Long Yunyun happily hugged Long Wushui, while Long Qin and the others smiled and stood by the side. They had thought that they would have to wait another 100 years to see Long Wushui, but she had come out early. To them, Long Wushui was their master, so they were very happy. Seeing her subordinates, Long Wushui also smiled. Although she treated others badly, she had never mistreated them. At this moment, Zhao Fu walked in. Long Yunyun giggled and said, "Thank you, young master, for releasing master early." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "No need to thank me." Long Yunyun was a little excited as she smiled and said to Long Wushui, "Master, let me tell you, young master is very, very powerful. Not only did he become the young master of our demon dragon race, but he also became the young master of the desolate ancient dragon race. Also, young master didn't release you immediately because of the pressure from the witch race and dragon race." Long Wushui glared at Zhao Fu. She finally understood how Zhao Fu lied to her subordinates. Zhao Fu smiled and stood there, looking very shameless. Long Qin smiled and said, "Now that Master is back, let's have a good celebration to welcome Master back." Long Yunyun happily nodded. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "I'll participate too." Long Qin smiled and said, "Then let's get people to prepare. This celebration must be big, and let everyone know that our master is back." After this matter spread, everyone was still worried. They all knew of Long Wushui's evil reputation, and they were afraid of her. But now that she was the master of the desolate ancient dragon race's young master, who wouldn't dare to give her face? Although everyone was put in a difficult position, they still came to congratulate him and gave him gift. However, they were surprised to find that Long Wushui didn't seem to have any strength at all. This made them heave a sigh of relief. Even if Long Wushui didn't have any power left, no one would dare make things difficult for him, let alone harm him. Zhao Fu was there. Long Wushui snorted unhappily. If she didn't have any power, she wouldn't have any confidence. Although those people were afraid of her, they weren't very afraid of her. Long Yunyun and the others were still very happy that so many people had come to congratulate their master. After the celebration, Long Wushui glared at Zhao Fu. "You think of a way to help me undo the seal. Right now, I can guarantee that I won't hurt you or make things difficult for you. I just want to take back my previous strength." Zhao Fu looked at Long Wushui and laughed. "Why aren't you hurting me anymore? Give me a reason to believe you. Otherwise, how am I supposed to think of a way?" Long Wushui said angrily, "I'm already your man. Are you still not satisfied?" Zhao Fu said as he smiled. Long Wushui glared at Zhao Fu and said, "Now I'm regretting it. If I undo the seal, see how I'll teach you a lesson." Zhao Fu pulled Long Wushui into his embrace. A few hours later, Long Yunyun and Long Qin also joined in to protect their master from being bullied by Zhao Fu. After being in the Dragon Palace for so long, Zhao Fu hadn't touched them yet. A few hours later, Long Yunyun's face was red as she lay in Zhao Fu's embrace. She smiled as she looked at Zhao Fu and lightly called out, "Young master." Zhao Fu laughed and acknowledged. Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu bitterly. "I'm really unlucky to have landed in your hands." Now, Long Wushui understood that with the relationship between her and Zhao Fu, even if she undid the seal, she wouldn't be able to kill Zhao Fu. She also didn't have such thoughts. She just wanted to regain her strength and not be bullied by Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu chuckled and said, "How can I be unlucky? It should be good luck. Without me, you wouldn't have come out so quickly. Without me, you wouldn't have obtained the power of the dragon ancestor. In the future, I'll still be the supreme existence in the primal chaos world." Long Wushui snorted and laid in Zhao Fu's embrace without saying a word. She acknowledged Zhao Fu on this point. In her heart, she also felt that she couldn't compare to an existence like Zhao Fu. Long Qin smiled and said, "I don't have any other thoughts. I just want to serve young master and master every day." Long Yunyun said cutely, "Me too." Zhao Fu looked at the two of them and said with a slight smile, "I might have to leave soon." Long Yunyun pouted and asked, "So soon? Young master, didn't you just return?" Zhao Fu smiled and said, The dragon race has already helped me collect the blood of 1,000,000 races, and we've also received some news about bronze shards. It seems that the Eastern Alliance has some bronze shards. I need to go and take a look." Long Wushui reminded, back then, the #1 evil immortal and the Eastern Alliance had a deep-seated enmity. Right now, the Eastern Alliance is desperately searching for you, in order to get rid of you. It'll be very dangerous for you to go to the Eastern Alliance. Zhao Fu nodded, but the remaining bronze shards might be there. I need to go. Once the evil immortal's bloodline reaches the great perfection and my origin equipment is repaired, that'll be the time for me to awaken my Supreme Emperor Star. Long Wushui said, I believe you on this point, but I can't help you right now. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "In actuality, there's no need. If there was, I could have called the goddess and moon immortal long ago." Long Wushui felt quite jealous as she pinched Zhao Fu. "You scum of the human world, you won't let off any woman." Zhao Fu chuckled as he said, "Isn't it because of my charm? You've become my woman as well." Long Wushui's face became slightly red as she said, "After you awaken your supreme emperor star, will you be going back to the heaven-awakened world?" Zhao Fu nodded. "That's my home, it's where my foundation is. There are countless subordinates and people I'm familiar with, so I definitely need to go back." Long Wushui said disappointedly, "I won't be going to the heaven-awakened world with you." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "That's all right. Just stay in the Dragon Palace and recover your strength. After you've fully recovered, you can come to the heaven-awakened world to find me." Long Wushui nodded. Long Yunyun looked at Zhao Fu with a resolute gaze and said, "Young master, I'll also come to find you. I want to see what kind of world young master lives in." Long Qin smiled as she said, "I'll also go and serve young master and master." Zhao Fu nodded and smiled as he said, "The world I live in is a very beautiful place and much more interesting than the outer world. I welcome you all to come at any time." After cuddling for a while, Zhao Fu continued on his journey to the Eastern Region Alliance. Of course, there was still something he had to take care of, which was fusing 1,000,000 bloodlines. Chapter 2968. Volume 1, Chapter 408. Heavenly Law. Zhao Fu first found a hidden region by himself, because breaking through to level 7 and level 8 of the evil celestial bloodline would definitely cause terrifying abnormal signs. Zhao Fu sat cross-legged on a massive boulder and started to refine his bloodline under the blue sky and white clouds. Glass bottles continuously flew out from his body and scattered around Zhao Fu's body. More and more glass bottles flew out and lined up around Zhao Fu's body in an orderly manner, covering the surrounding tens of thousands of meters. Each of the glass bottles contained bright red blood and gave off a faint blood-red light, creating a majestic scene. Bang! Bang! Bang sounds rang out as countless glass bottles shattered and large amounts of blood gathered together, forming a sea of blood as a massive bloody stench spread out. There were 1,000,000 types of bloodlines here. The sea of blood started to spin around Zhao Fu, forming a massive blood-red vortex, and a terrifying aura spread out, causing the heavens and earth to change colors. Zhao Fu slowly closed his eyes. Whoosh! Large amounts of blood flowed towards Zhao Fu and madly flowed into Zhao Fu's body, as if the water had found a hole. Even though the blood had disappeared, the terrifying aura that it gave off became even more terrifying, and the changes in the heavens and earth became even more intense. The sea of blood flowed into Zhao Fu's body, and a faint blood-red aura rose up from Zhao Fu's body and floated into the sky. Within Zhao Fu's body, the 1,000,000 bloodlines turned into different forms. There were insects, birds, humans, fish, beasts, and others, forming a black mass that stretched as far as the eye could see. They gave off a world-shaking aura, as if they could conquer the heavens. Zhao Fu stood at the center of the countless creatures by himself, not showing any fear in the face of the ocean of creatures. It was as if he was a god that ruled over the heavens and earth. Boom! A shocking explosion sounded out as the countless insects and beasts flooded out like a flood, giving off fearless auras as they charged towards Zhao Fu, as if nothing could stop them. Zhao Fu gave a faint smile and a boundless power spread out. Zhao Fu gave off a golden light and a white light. 8 suns and 12 moons appeared in the sky, emitting countless rays of light that enveloped the entire space. The sea of insect beasts was unstoppable like a flood. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and pressed in the air. Boom! A sound that sounded like heaven and earth shattering rang out. An extremely terrifying power descended from the sky. Countless insects were instantly crushed and blood splattered everywhere. A huge pool of blood immediately appeared below Zhao Fu, sucking in all the shattered insect beasts. The remaining bug beasts continued to sweep towards Zhao Fu with a terrifying aura. Zhao Fu stretched out his hand and pushed out, causing a massive golden dragon to shoot out. It gave off a power that seemed to be able to pierce through everything as it charged forward, and a large number of bugs in front of it were crushed by the golden dragon. On the other side, the bug beasts continued to rush towards Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu waved his hand and countless swords shot out. Countless bug beasts' bodies were pierced by the swords, and the bug beasts were unable to resist at all. Countless broken limbs, corpses, and blood splattered everywhere. The bug beasts in the last direction continued to rush towards Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu slapped out with his palm and countless curse runes shot out like bullets, piercing through the bug beasts' bodies. Blood splattered everywhere, and a large number of bug beasts' bodies were riddled with holes. In just moments, Zhao Fu had easily dealt with the countless bug beasts. Countless broken corpses and blood fell like rain into the massive pool of blood. The massive pool of blood gave off a terrifying refining power, instantly refining the countless broken corpses that had fallen into the pool of blood. Even though so many broken corpses had fallen in, the pool of blood did not seem to have any problems at all. As the pool of blood refined the corpses, Zhao Fu felt a terrifying bloodline power flow over. Boom! Outside the body space, Zhao Fu's body shot out an enormous blood-red beam of light, giving off immense power as it shot into the sky. Heaven and earth power quickly gathered, forming an enormous blood-red vortex. Countless bug images appeared in the sky. There were centipedes, earthworms, butterflies, moths, scorpions, ants, locusts, mosquitoes, slugs. The countless bug images covered the sky, and it was impossible to count how many there were. They all flew towards Zhao Fu's direction, and they were not very fast. However, they gave off a terrifying aura, causing people's hairs to stand on end. Everyone in the outer world looked at the bugs in the sky with a strange look on their faces. What's going on? Why have so many bug images suddenly appeared? Just looking at them makes my back feel cold. I'm not sure, but something big must have happened in that direction for so many bugs to gather. So many big things have happened recently. The matter with the new sun god hasn't even been settled, and now, such a big anomaly has appeared. This isn't something small figures like us can control. It's better for us to live honestly and not think too much about it. That's where you're wrong. For a phenomenon of this level, who knows how many regions it covers? If something happens and we don't pay attention, we might not even know how we died. That's right. I can sense the terrifying auras that those bugs are giving off. It's definitely not a power that we can fight against. I think those higher-ups should know what happened. Why don't we go ask them? Countless experts did indeed know what had happened, but their expressions did not relax at all. Instead, they had solemn looks on their faces because they knew how serious this matter was. The most solemn among them was the Eastern Alliance. Just who is the inheritor of the first evil immortal? Isn't his leveling speed a bit too fast? He's completely surpassed the first evil immortal back then. Back then, although the first evil immortal was extremely terrifying, it took him many years to raise his bloodline to that level. However, his inheritor didn't even use a tenth of the time he did. This means that his inheritor is even more terrifying than the first evil immortal. Now, things have become very difficult. Our Eastern Alliance might have to face an unprecedentedly great enemy. If we don't handle it well, our Eastern Alliance might suffer another blow. Although the evil immortal's bloodline is about to reach the 7th stage, it hasn't reached the final stage yet. So, we still have a chance. If it reaches the final stage, we won't have any chance at all. We can only wait for him to come knocking on our door. Chapter 2969, Volume 1. Chapter 409. That is why we must take advantage of the fact that this successor has yet to reach the final stage of the evil immortal stage to find him by hook or by crook. We absolutely cannot allow him to reach the final stage. That's right. I don't want what happened back then to happen again. In order to kill off the evil immortal back then, the price we have to pay is too great. Right now, we need to get rid of the evil immortal's successor as our first priority. As for the new sun god, new moon immortal, and the children of essence, there's no need to worry about anything else. If we don't get rid of this, I won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. Countless experts of the Eastern Alliance gave out orders, and some of the people who were closer immediately flew towards the place where the insect beasts were gathered. They wanted to find the successor of the evil immortal and think of all ways to get rid of him. City of 10,000 swordsmany sword cultivators looked at the densely packed bug beasts in the sky with solemn expressions. A white-robed old man said, "Those evil immortal legacies have already raised the evil immortal's bloodline to the 7th stage. I'm sure that he will definitely cause a calamity just like the first evil immortal did in the past. If our city of 10,000 swords can do so, we must stop him as well to avoid excessive casualties." A middle-aged man with fire-red hair and giving off a fiery sword chi nodded and said, "That's right. The catastrophe caused by the evil immortal back then was too intense, we can't let it happen a second time." A handsome young man in blue clothes said, "We might not have to personally act. Don't forget that our city of 10,000 swords has also given birth to a shocking genius. He is the founder of the 10,000 swords training heart and has grasped 3 supreme sword intent. If he were to act, I believe that we might not lose." The white-clothed old man thought for a moment before saying, Things are indeed different now. Back then, no one could stop the evil immortal. However, our city of 10,000 swords master has been born. He can stop the calamity that the evil immortal's legatee brought about." An azure-robed, gentle-looking middle-aged man said, "It's not just our city of 10,000 swords master, there's also the new sun god, the new moon immortal, and the origin child. Which one of them isn't terrifying? With their existence, I think it will be very difficult for what happened back then to happen again." The white-clothed old man sighed. "This is an era where world-shaking geniuses are born. With their birth, we are almost not qualified to compare with them. This is an era where they are the masters." Dragonland. Long Yunyun looked at the sky and said happily, "That's great. Our young master's immortal evil bloodline has improved." Long Wushui said calmly, "What's the big deal? That fellow has fused with the power of 8 suns, and the immortal evil bloodline is no longer restricted. He can directly rise to the peak." Long Yunyun still said in admiration, "Young master is too amazing." Long Wushui thought about it and said, "Now I also find it strange. What kind of existence is he? How could this world give birth to someone like him? There must be something hidden behind him that he doesn't even know about." Long Qin smiled and said, "I feel that even if something happens to him, he will have master and other experts to help him. There shouldn't be much of a problem." Long Wushui said with a trace of jealousy, "I don't have the ability to help him now, but other women will help him. Who knows how many women that bastard has? If it was according to my previous personality, I would definitely castrate him." Long Qin chuckled and said, "Master, are you sure you want to do this? What will you do in the future?" Long Yunyun blushed and said, "Master, don't. If you do that to the young master, what will we do in the future? And I think master likes it very much." Long Wushui blushed and pinched Long Yunyun's cheeks. "I'm not." Long Qin looked at the sky and said, "The young master will most likely refine all of his bloodline before heading to the Eastern Alliance. I hope that nothing will happen to him." Long Wushui's expression was somewhat solemn. "That's not necessarily true. However, with the boundless fate within him, there shouldn't be any danger to his life. I hope that everything will go smoothly for him." Long Qin said teasingly, "So master also cares about the young master?" Long Wushui's face became red and she explained, "I don't. How could I care about that bastard? Just watch. Who knows how many women he'll take in during this trip to the Eastern Alliance? Long Union giggled and said, Master? I'm sure that no matter how many women the young master takes in, he'll still like you. No one can compare to Master's charm. Long Wuxue felt quite delighted and smiled. Finally, he turned to look at Zhao Fu. In the sky, the massive blood-red vortex was replaced by countless insect shadows, becoming a massive insect shadow vortex that covered the surrounding hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Moreover, insect shadows continuously flew over from all directions, joining the massive vortex. The vortex slowly spun, giving off an aura that seemed to shake the heavens and earth. That evil, crazy, twisted, and bloody aura also spread out like a tornado. All of the creatures in this region had long since fled in fear, not daring to stay for even a second longer. The countless insect shadows continued to gather towards the massive insect shadow vortex, becoming larger and larger, and the aura they gave off became more and more terrifying. That region seemed to be suppressed by a massive gravitational force, making it difficult for people to breathe. In the end, a large number of insect shadows gathered, but there were still a few that were still gathering in that direction. The insect shadow vortex also covered that region, and from afar, it looked like it was covered by a layer of haze. That terrifying aura made people feel incredibly uneasy. Boom! A shocking explosion sounded out as the massive vortex's tail descended and drilled into Zhao Fu's body, sending a terrifying wave of power into Zhao Fu's body. Zhao Fu quickly absorbed this terrifying power. In actuality, ordinary peak Dao realm experts would not be able to withstand this vortex's power, and their bodies would be torn to shreds. However, Zhao Fu's body was too monstrous, and he could easily withstand this power. As the power continuously flowed in, the power that Zhao Fu's body gave off became more and more terrifying, especially the bloodline power. In the end, the vortex completely entered Zhao Fu's body, and only then did Zhao Fu successfully raise the evil celestial bloodline to stage 7. At this stage, Zhao Fu's bloodline was already quite terrifying, and it had reached the legendary divine bloodline. Because of this, Zhao Fu's 8 forbidden blood arts power became a type of divine power, and it was dozens of times more powerful than before. This was especially so for the ability to create life. Zhao Fu no longer relied on his flesh and blood, and he could directly use wind, rain, lightning, and other elements to create life from nothingness. However, Zhao Fu was not satisfied. Even though the stage 7 evil celestial bloodline was powerful, it was not the final stage. The final evil celestial bloodline was truly terrifying, and only then would he be able to unleash the 8 forbidden blood arts' full power. Chapter 2970. Volume 1, Chapter 410. Chaos. Zhao Fu looked towards the sky as a massive power descended from the sky. Blood-red waves of light continuously spread out, causing the sky to become blood-red. This blood-red color quickly spread out like a blood-red cloth. Now that Zhao Fu was about to break through to the evil immortal stage 8, which was the final stage of the evil immortal bloodline, the abnormal signs would be even greater. Everyone had thought that the abnormal signs would disappear, and had been passionately discussing this matter. However, they had never thought that the boundless blood-red color would spread out from the horizon, bringing with it a dense evil and berserk aura. This caused countless people to look shocked. They had thought that the evil immortal's legatee had only just broken through to stage 7 and would need at least a few years to break through to stage 8. They had never thought that Zhao Fu would immediately break through to stage 8. The expressions of the Eastern Alliance's people became quite grim. They had thought that they would have a chance to stop Zhao Fu, but they did not have a chance at all. The blood-red color continued to spread out, covering most of the sky in the primal chaos world. Only some of the outer regions were not covered, but those at the outer regions could see the blood-red color in the distance. The ominous aura made them feel uneasy. Boom! A shocking sound rang out as boundless heaven and earth power gathered in the sky. The blood-red sky started to go through terrifying changes, turning into a massive blood-red piece of meat. It looked as if the sky was covered by a massive layer of meat. The piece of meat was still slowly squirming and giving off an extremely terrifying aura, causing everyone's hairs to stand on end and their bodies to feel icy cold. Whether it was in the sky or on the ground, everyone could sense this terrifying aura. December. Yuxianzi frowned as she looked at the heaven-toppling blood-red light, which had already affected the 12 white moons. From afar, the 12 moons stood on the boundless blood-red light. If it was not for the fact that the 12 moons contained the supreme power of the heaven and earth, they might have been dyed blood-red. Yuxianzi said in shock, "What happened in the lower realm? Why is this heaven-toppling blood-red light shooting up to the moons?" Yu Shumin replied seriously, "This is the terrifying abnormal signs caused by the evil immortal's legatee raising the evil immortal bloodline to the final stage." Yu Shumin said in shock, "I remember that the legatee only appeared a few years ago. How did he raise the evil immortal bloodline to the final stage in such a short time?" Yu Shumin shook her head. "No one knows, probably only the inheritor of the evil immortal knows." Yu Yao said worriedly, "With the appearance of such a terrifying person, the chaos world will be engulfed in a bloodbath." "Back then, our 12 moons were affected as well." Yu Wuxing nodded. "The appearance of such a person is not a good thing for the chaos world. Furthermore, he might be even more terrifying than the previous evil immortal." The Moon Saintess smiled and said, "We are now half immortals and have mastered 12 essence moon power. We shouldn't have to fear him. Even if we can't beat that person, we still have that fellow, right? With him around, he will definitely be able to suppress this evil immortal." Yuxianzi's expression eased as she said, "With that guy around, he can indeed suppress such an evil person. Now that he has obtained the power of 12 moons and 8 moons, who knows what he is doing?" 8 suns. The 8 forbidden blood techniques' initial power came from the 8 suns' essence power. Now that the evil immortal bloodline had reached its final stage, the 8 suns were greatly affected. The sun space was filled with blood-red light, and the 8 suns all gave off a faint blood-red light, giving off an extremely terrifying aura. The sun demon Raymond called out unhappily, "What's going on?" Riying said seriously, "It's that person's legatee who raised the evil immortal bloodline to the 8th stage." Ri Ning looked at the blood-red space and said seriously, "That person is the only person who has awakened us from our slumber." Ri Ning said, "I somewhat admire him. He used the 8 moons' essence power as a foundation to create an extremely evil and crazy power that is not any weaker than the true essence power of the sun." Ri Ning looked at the women and asked, "Then what should we do?" Ri Yanagi said, "Just like last time, there's no need to care. After all, no matter what he does on the ground, it won't affect us on the suns." Riying said, "It's different now. We're currently establishing the Supreme God Palace. Even though we won't be affected, the believers on the ground will definitely be affected." Ri Ning looked at Ri Ying and asked, "What do you think we should do?" Ri Ying replied, "Even though that person has some karma with us 8 moons, if he affects the Supreme God Palace, we can only get rid of him ourselves. I don't want anyone to ruin our plans." Ri Ning nodded, "That's all we can do now." Whether it was the people from the sun, moon, or the others, none of them knew that it was Zhao Fu who had caused such a massive abnormal sign, and Zhao Fu had not told them about it either. This power was simply too berserk and twisted, and they had not sensed that it was Zhao Fu. The blood-red sky continued to change as boundless heaven and earth power flowed into the blood-red flesh. The flesh continued to squirm, giving off an extremely terrifying aura. Everyone felt a massive pressure. Even though the 7th stage abnormal sign had been massive, it had not affected them. Now they could clearly sense how terrifying this power was. It was a power that they could not withstand. The light had already dimmed, and the ground had become quite eerie. The countless birds and beasts were silent, not daring to make a single sound. They were instinctively afraid. On the battlefield at the edge of the world, countless people from the heaven-awakened world watched as the outer world was covered by a layer of flesh. The berserk and bloody aura that flooded over made them feel incredibly uneasy. How could there be such a terrifying abnormal sign in the outer world? Could it be that they're plotting something to deal with the heaven-awakened world? No, I just received news that it was caused by the outer world's evil celestial's legatee. Who is that evil celestial's legatee? How could he cause such a massive abnormal sign? I don't know the details, but he's most likely an extremely terrifying existence. The previous generation's evil celestial heavily injured the Eastern Continent Alliance, causing them to lose a large number of experts. I heard that this generation's evil celestial's legatee is even more terrifying. This is a good thing for us. It's best for the outer world to consume its own power. That's not necessarily the case. The evil celestial's legatee is from the outer world, and sooner or later, he'll come to deal with the heaven-awakened world and cause massive casualties. We need to keep a close eye on people like that, and if there's a need we can kill them. There have been so many shocking geniuses appearing in the outer world recently, I don't even know what to say. Last time, a new sun god and a new moon immortal were born. If this continues, it'll be quite disadvantageous for us. Even though the heaven-awakened sun is terrifying, he can't stop so many geniuses. Chapter 2971. Volume 1, Chapter 411. Death. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Countless loud hissing sounds rang out from the sky, piercing the ears of countless people. One after another, bugs crawled out from the layer of flesh. Only half of them crawled out, leaving the other half inside. There were flies, earthworms, spiders, worms, centipedes, aphids, butterflies, scorpions, fleas, leeches. The countless bugs twisted their bodies in the sky and hissed out. It was an extremely horrifying scene. When the people on the ground saw that, some of them were so frightened that they stood rooted to the spot, feeling as though their bodies had fallen into an icy cavern. Some were so frightened that they collapsed to the ground, unable to move at all as their bodies continued to tremble. Eastern Alliance, can anyone tell me what to do? The phenomenon caused by the evil immortal's successor is even scarier than the evil immortals. To personally feel this terrifying power, a trace of fear has arisen from the depths of my heart. This is something very rare for me. There's no other way now. He has already reached the 8th stage of the evil immortal's bloodline. It won't be long before he becomes the new evil immortal. Can't we find him before he becomes the new evil immortal? It's useless. His evil immortal's bloodline has reached the final stage. As long as he hides himself, ordinary immortals will not be able to find him, let alone people like us. Is he really that powerful? Even immortals can't find him? Of course. Otherwise, why would we lose our chance when he reaches the final stage of the evil immortal's bloodline? That's the reason. When he was at the 7th stage, we might have been able to find him. But now, even if he were to appear before us, we wouldn't be able to find him. Now we're in trouble. Our Eastern Alliance might have to face the biggest crisis in our history. There's no point in searching for him. Right now, we can only choose to defend with all our might. Right now, we can only hope that the evil immortal's successor does not hold too much of a grudge against our Eastern Alliance. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Seated on a boulder, Zhao Fu's face was calm as he looked at the countless bugs in the sky. Silence. Zhao Fu uttered out one word and the countless bugs in the sky instantly quietened down. It was as though they had received the command of their ruler. Their eyes turned to look at Zhao Fu, filled with respect and fear. Everyone saw that the countless insects had suddenly quietened down and their eyes were all looking in a certain direction. They understood that that direction was where the evil immortal's successor was. Only he had the ability to silence countless insects. Some people flew in that direction while others stayed away from that area. Zhao Fu slowly closed his eyes. The countless insects in the sky started to gather their power and their mouths gave off a blood-red light. An ultimate power spread out, seeming to be able to destroy this world. The people on the ground also felt extreme danger. Countless people hid in their houses, and countless birds and beasts instinctively searched for various places to hide. Shio shio shio, countless sounds rang out as the insects shot out blood-red beams of light from their mouth. They contained immense power and shook the heavens and earth as they shot towards Zhao Fu. Rays of blood-red light continuously entered Zhao Fu's body, and Zhao Fu absorbed massive amounts of power. His body was inundated by countless rays of blood-red light, and that place was covered by blood-red light as time seemed to stop. Countless blood-red beams of light shot into Zhao Fu's body, and a boundless bloodline power flowed out. Zhao Fu's body gave off a blood-red light as the evil immortal Zhao Fu had risen to stage 8. Zhao Fu's body also started to change. An insect horn grew out of Zhao Fu's head and his eyes became a pair of blood-red insect eyes. His hair became multicolored and 12 pairs of thin transparent insect wings grew out of his back. His hands and feet became insect claws and a black insect tail grew out of his back. The evil immortal bloodline was an extremely berserk, evil, and twisted power, and it caused massive changes to the body. Normally, it was suppressed by Zhao Fu's constitution, which was why there were not many changes. Now that the evil immortal bloodline had reached its final stage, Zhao Fu was unable to suppress the changes, which was why Zhao Fu had become like this. This state was called the evil immortal state, and back then, the evil immortal had also become like this. It was a pity that this bloodline was only at the peak of the saint tier, and it was just a trace away from breaking through to the evil immortal essence bloodline. If it broke through, Zhao Fu would possess the first-generation evil immortal essence bloodline. The evil immortal essence bloodline was something that the evil immortal had been chasing after back then, but it was a pity that he had not been able to achieve it. Zhao Fu could understand how much effort he had put into obtaining the first-generation evil immortal essence bloodline. It was relatively easier to obtain the evil immortal essence bloodline, such as the dragon essence bloodline. However, the difference in power between the dragon essence bloodline and the evil immortal essence bloodline was massive, and it could be said that they were not on the same level. Swish, 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 8 blood-red twisted runes shot out from within Zhao Fu's body, and they spread out in 8 different directions around Zhao Fu. This was the 8 forbidden blood art. Now that Zhao Fu's evil immortal essence bloodline had reached its final stage, the 8 forbidden blood art was about to go through its final transformation, and Zhao Fu would now possess the 8 forbidden blood art's true power. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and a crack appeared on his palm, causing a wave of blood to flow out. It turned into 8 blood-red orbs and shot towards the 8 twisted runes. The 8 blood-red runes absorbed the 8 orbs of blood and gave off shocking power. They turned into 8 rays of blood-red light and shot into the sky, entering the massive layer of flesh. Countless insects instantly died, their bodies turning into ashes and dissipating. When everyone saw this scene, they still didn't know what the reason was. Rumble, a massive sound rang out in the sky as the layer of flesh violently twisted. Waves of even more terrifying aura spread out, causing everyone to feel immense fear. Bang! 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 8 muffled sounds rang out in all directions as 8 massive holes appeared in the layer of flesh in the sky. At the center of each hole was a small blood-red insect, and each of them looked slightly different. They were centipedes, scorpions, dragonflies, butterflies, beetles, earthworms, leeches, and aphids. The blood-red layer of flesh in the sky started to dissipate, and the 8 small blood-red insects flew down from the sky and returned to Zhao Fu's body, turning back into the 8 twisted runes. Zhao Fu could sense that the 8 forbidden blood art's power was now over 100 times greater than before. It was just a matter of quality and quantity, but the 8 forbidden blood art now had life, which was quite rare. For example, when Zhao Fu had other powers, they did not have life. Is this the 8 forbidden blood art's true power? Zhao Fu gave a trace of a smile. He was quite satisfied with this power. It was no weaker than source energy. If Zhao Fu could raise the evil immortal essence bloodline to the source bloodline, the 8 forbidden blood art would be even more powerful than ordinary source energy. Chapter 2972. Book 1, Chapter 412. Death. Because his bloodline had reached the final stage, Zhao Fu had obtained all of the evil celestial's abilities. As long as the evil celestial had any abilities, Zhao Fu had them all. The first was void form heaven and earth, turning himself into heaven and earth power and disappearing. He could fuse with heaven and earth, becoming immune to all attacks and hiding from celestial senses. However, in this state, Zhao Fu did not have any attack power. Zhao Fu valued this quite a bit because he often had to be on guard against all sorts of experts. He did not dare to go to places with many experts, such as last time when many experts had gathered at the land of extreme Yang. Because there were too many experts there, Zhao Fu did not choose to go back. Now that Zhao Fu could hide from celestials, he naturally became much bolder. He did not have to worry about being caught by some experts, and his safety was greatly improved. This ability was the evil celestial's greatest life-saving method, and it was also the greatest help to Zhao Fu. Immunity to all attacks was most likely because Zhao Fu's body had turned into nothingness, meaning that he did not exist in this world. Ordinary attacks would not be able to harm him, but some powers that contained heaven and earth laws might be able to harm him. Zhao Fu tested it out. 8 blood-colored twisting runes appeared within Zhao Fu's body, and Zhao Fu's body turned into countless rainbow-colored energies that scattered in all directions. The energies fused into the air, the earth, the plants, and finally disappeared. Now Zhao Fu was like a grass, a flower, a stone, the earth, or the sky. It gave Zhao Fu a wondrous feeling. It was as if he was this world, or perhaps this world was him. In this state, ordinary attacks would destroy plants, but they would not be able to harm Zhao Fu. This was because Zhao Fu had fused with heaven and earth itself, not just a single plant. If a plant was destroyed, the energy that Zhao Fu had turned into would be transferred to another plant, to a stone, or even to a bird or insect on a plant. Objects could be destroyed, but the energy would not disappear. This was the real reason why he was immune to all attacks and could evade the senses of immortals. Zhao Fu's existence was like the law of nature, untraceable and unkillable. Then, Zhao Fu tried to change it because he couldn't do anything in this state. The energy Zhao Fu had transformed into had already fused with the plants on the ground. Zhao Fu was trying to grow a small tree into a big tree. The small tree seemed to have received a great power and quickly grew into a 10-meter tall tree. It was lush and full of life. After discovering that it could be done, Zhao Fu revealed a smile. However, it needed to be linked with the small tree. Although it could make the small tree grow quickly, if someone attacked the small tree, he would also suffer some damage. He didn't care about anything and just existed in the void. This was the safest state. Other attacks couldn't reach him, and if he wanted to attack, he would have to bear some danger. The second one was called the Insect Dispelling Curse. This was a terrifying curse, and it was very harmful to one's body. After all, the material used to cast the curse was one's own body, and the more bodies one used to cast the curse, the more powerful the curse would be. Most importantly, it could even kill people above one's level. An Emperor Heaven Realm expert could easily kill a Void Realm expert, a Void Realm expert could easily kill a Spirit Realm expert, and a Tao Realm expert could even kill a higher being. Back then, the evil celestial had used the rest of his body below his head to cast this terrifying curse. At the Void Realm, he had been able to kill a higher being, and after becoming a higher being, he had been able to use his arm to kill a half-step celestial. After becoming an existence like the evil celestial, even if he was blasted into bits, he would not be able to kill him. As such, using the rest of his body below his head to cast the curse was no problem. Zhao Fu had also obtained this ability, and ordinary methods would not be able to kill Zhao Fu. For example, if one dug out Zhao Fu's heart and chopped off his head, he would not die. Only special methods would be able to kill Zhao Fu. After all, using one's own body to cast the curse would cause one to lose a large amount of essence blood and source energy, so it was best not to use this method unless it was necessary. The third ability was quite interesting, and it was called the 8 Restriction Blood Thrall. Zhao Fu's 8 blood-red runes already possessed life, and they could give birth to 8 insect eggs in people's bodies. These insect eggs continuously stimulated that person's potential and talent, allowing an ordinary person to become a genius. Moreover, these insect eggs also contained the 8 Restriction Blood Arts power. Anyone who obtained these insect eggs would immediately become the ruler of the world and would also obtain great power. However, this did not come without a price. The bug egg would stimulate a person's potential, and it would also absorb the person's essence. In the end, it would even swallow the person whole. When the bug egg hatched, the person would become an 8 Forbidden Blood Thrall, a slave that would only listen to orders. This method could nurture an ordinary person into a very powerful servant, and if a genius was implanted with an insect egg, the 8 Restriction Blood Thrall would become even more powerful. Because the 8 Restriction Blood Art was an insect, it inherited some of the characteristics of insects, which was that it could produce a large number of insect eggs. Back then, the evil immortal had created 1,000,000 8 Restriction Blood Thralls, and they were the evil immortal's main battle force, causing a large number of casualties in the primal chaos world. The Eastern Continent Alliance had paid a huge price to get rid of these 8 Restriction Blood Thralls. Zhao Fu did not plan on using this method. He had come to the primal chaos world for the Emperor Star, and he did not have the time or the heart to nurture 8 Restriction Blood Thralls. The fourth ability was 100 million Restriction Blood Art. This ability could suppress other bloodlines or suppress other people's bloodlines. No matter what person or creature it was, as long as they had blood, they would be suppressed by Zhao Fu's bloodline, unless their bloodline was much higher than Zhao Fu's. Now that Zhao Fu's evil immortal bloodline was at the peak of the saint grade, ordinary source bloodlines would also be suppressed by the evil immortal bloodline. This suppression would weaken other creatures' power, affect their confidence, and even cause some creatures with lower bloodlines to submit. In the future, when Zhao Fu fought with someone, he could create a bloodline that could suppress that person. For example, if the Sun race had the Sun bloodline, Zhao Fu's bloodline would create a darkness bloodline that could suppress the Sun bloodline, and Zhao Fu would also have a powerful darkness bloodline. Another example was if Zhao Fu fought against a dragon race. His bloodline would create a dragon slayer bloodline, which would greatly suppress the dragon race, and Zhao Fu would also have the power of a dragon slayer. Another example was if Zhao Fu fought against a demon. His bloodline would become an angel bloodline, and Zhao Fu would also have the power of an angel bloodline. This ability could be said to be quite powerful, and it could suppress almost any bloodline. However, there was a limit, and that was if one wanted to suppress an opponent's bloodline, they would first need to devour the opponent's blood. Only then would they be able to create a bloodline that could suppress the opponent. Chapter 2973. Book 1. Zhao Fu's bloodline was quite rare in other worlds. This kind of bloodline ability was quite rare in other worlds, and even though Zhao Fu had a bloodline that was even more powerful than the evil celestial bloodline, he did not use this ability. Zhao Fu was quite interested in this ability, so he drank a bottle of ice bird's blood and activated the bloodline ability. A flame vortex immediately appeared within Zhao Fu's body, and his bloodline continuously changed, becoming like magma. A massive wave of heat flowed out of Zhao Fu's body, and Zhao Fu's body also gave off flames. Now, the power that Zhao Fu gave off and the bloodline's aura made people feel as if Zhao Fu was a fire beast. Zhao Fu took out a bottle of wind insect beast's blood and drank it, causing a green vortex to appear within his body. The bloodline did not change, and a green stream of air and a formless power spread out, giving off a formless power that could weaken the wind. After trying a few more times, Zhao Fu looked quite satisfied. This bloodline could indeed restrain the opponent's bloodline, and it would definitely be more powerful than the opponent's. With this ability, it would be much easier for Zhao Fu to deal with others in the future, while others would encounter opponents that could restrain them. However, it was possible that Zhao Fu would not use it often. Even though he could restrain them, Zhao Fu's true bloodline had already reached the peak of the origin bloodline, so using this bloodline's power would naturally be even more powerful. The fifth ability was the Heaven Explosion Beetle. From the name, it sounded like a self-destruct ability, and it could cause terrifying destructive power. Once this ability was used, Zhao Fu's body would turn into countless insects that would rush out in all directions, destroying and killing everything in their path. As long as one's power was not much greater than Zhao Fu's, almost no one would be able to escape this ability. Of course, this ability would greatly harm Zhao Fu's body. Even though he would not die, he would use up all of his power, and if he wanted to become stronger, he would need time to recover. If he did not want to live, the hidden heavenly explosion beetles would be the most terrifying. Its power was 10 times that of an ordinary hidden heavenly explosion beetles. The only certainty was that after using it, he would lose his life. It was almost impossible for Zhao Fu to do this, and there were even more terrifying methods. For example, if Zhao Fu detonated his 8 supreme stars, this terrifying power would be enough to kill even an immortal, let alone a supreme being. The effect was 100 times stronger than the heavenly explosion insect treasury. Due to the high cost of using this move, the evil immortal would not use it often unless he had no other choice. The sixth ability was called the Immortal World Cavern. This ability wasn't a combat ability, nor was it a support ability. Instead, it was a skill that allowed one to dig holes. Perhaps you might think that it was ridiculous. Why would such an expert, with such great power and such a powerful bloodline, dig holes? Isn't this a little too embarrassing? But what if I tell you that it's not digging another hole, but digging a hole between the mortal world and the immortal world? That's right, as long as you have this ability, you don't need to become an immortal, nor do you need to rely on the help of the people in the immortal world. You can dig a hole that leads to the immortal world by yourself. Although this ability didn't have any combat power, it was extremely rare and precious, enough to shock the world. Zhao Fu had never heard of anyone who had this ability. The evil immortal seemed to have dug a tunnel that led to the immortal world, and even traveled around the immortal world before finally returning to the chaotic world. Calling him the evil immortal, it was possible that the evil immortal had fused with a portion of true immortal chi. As the immortal chi of the immortal world, it was the purest, incomparable to the immortal chi of the mortal world. As for the tunnel that the evil immortal had dug, Zhao Fu thought about it. After so many years, the immortal world had the power to automatically repair itself. Under the powerful repair, that tunnel shouldn't exist anymore. Otherwise, other people would be able to use that tunnel to head to the immortal world. Actually, with this ability, all the forces would have to be respectful to the evil immortal. However, the evil immortal didn't reveal his ability, and in the end, he fought against the Eastern Alliance alone. Zhao Fu didn't know what kind of hatred there was between the two sides. This time, when he went to the Eastern Alliance to collect bronze shards, he might find out what happened back then. Right now, Zhao Fu wasn't interested in going to the immortal world because he was too weak. There were countless existences above immortals there, and it was too early for Zhao Fu to go there. However, when he had some free time, Zhao Fu could give it a try. He wanted to see how an ability could dig a tunnel to the immortal world. This was something that Zhao Fu was quite interested in. Right now, Qin also had a celestial-level existence, which was the Flower Fairy. However, she had yet to recover her power and memories, and he wondered what would happen after she went to the immortal world. The speed at which she recovered her power should be much faster, or he could go to the immortal world to get some things back. These things could be dealt with later. The evil immortal still had many other abilities, and after Zhao Fu familiarized himself with them, he immediately left the place. By then, the abnormal signs had already calmed down, and a large group of experts were most likely gathering here. Although Zhao Fu wasn't afraid, he was afraid of trouble. Zhao Fu turned into a beam of light and shot into the horizon, disappearing. After waiting for a while, as expected, countless people arrived here. Sensing the remnant aura, they knew that the evil immortal's inheritor, no, it shouldn't be called inheritor, but the real second evil immortal. Everyone looked around solemnly, and when they realized that Zhao Fu had already left, they also left in disappointment. Actually, they weren't very confident that they would be able to see Zhao Fu. Moreover, Zhao Fu had already become the second-generation evil immortal. As long as he chose to hide, even if he was here, no one would be able to find him. Now that the evil immortal's bloodline had reached the final stage, everyone guessed that the evil immortal should be hiding in a place to cultivate peacefully. With his bloodline, it wouldn't be long before he reached the Almighty Realm, and only then would the Chaos World be a threat. Once he became an ordinary almighty beings would basically turn and run when they saw him. Everyone knew that ordinary almighty beings definitely wouldn't be a match for the evil immortal. Now they could only hope that some genius-level experts would take action and see if they had the ability to suppress this evil immortal. As for them, they had no choice but to obediently watch from the side. In the end, everyone left one after another. At this time, a square-shaped eye grew out from a gigantic boulder, and it even cut out 6 pairs of insect legs. The gigantic boulder looked around in confusion, then quickly ran towards the place where Zhao Fu had discovered it. This gigantic boulder wasn't transformed into this by Zhao Fu. Instead, it was affected by Zhao Fu's power. Back then, Zhao Fu had sat cross-legged on its body to break through his bloodline. Thus, this gigantic boulder also gained a life of its own, and the aura it was emitting wasn't weak at all. The gigantic boulder had just gained life, and its intelligence had only just been born. It only possessed some instincts, and it could sense Zhao Fu. Following its instincts, it chased after Zhao Fu. Its speed was neither fast nor slow, and it was constantly attracted by various things. After all, it had just gained life, and was curious about everything. Zhao Fu still didn't know that he had inadvertently created a stone life. Chapter 2974. Book 1, Chapter 414, Chaos. After flying away from that place, Zhao Fu found a place to stabilize his body's power. Bang! 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 Massive explosions sounded out as massive shockwaves spread out like wild gales, causing the heavens and earth to dim and startling all creatures in the surroundings. Zhao Fu slightly frowned as he asked, "What's going on?" Following the shockwaves, Zhao Fu encountered 2 groups of people. One group of people was dressed in violet robes and looked noble and mysterious. The other group of people looked quite strange. Some had insect eyes, some had insect horns, and some had insect shells. The 2 groups of people each stood on one side, and there were 2 young men sparring in the middle. One young man was dressed in violet robes and had long black hair. He was extremely handsome and gave off a powerful and noble aura, making him seem like a noble. The other young man was dressed in gray robes and gave off a devilish aura, and he gave off an ancient and ferocious aura. In actuality, the 2 of them were not fighting, and they stood on either side. One of them gave off violet energy, forming a massive giant, while the other gave off gray light. The ancient and ferocious energy formed a beetle with 9 pairs of insect eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. The massive shockwaves were caused by the intense battle between the 2 of them in the sky. Bang! The violet giant's fist slammed against the beetle's body with immense power, sending the beetle flying back. It also brought with it an intense gust of wind, causing boulders to roll and trees to sway. SSSSS. The massive beetle angrily gave off a massive hiss, causing a massive sound wave to spread out and forcing the violet giant back a few steps. The two of them seemed to be about the same in terms of power. Zhao Fu paid some attention to the violet-clothed young man because the aura he gave off was quite familiar. Zhao Fu had never seen this person before, and the aura he gave off was that of the ancient spirit race. The ancient spirit race was a race that had been born after the destruction of the bronze shard historical remnant. Last time, Zhao Fu had snuck into their mystic realm and obtained a few bronze shards. Zhao Fu had never thought that he would meet someone from the ancient spirit race here, and the aura he gave off was so powerful. He had heard from the ancient spirit race that they had a shocking genius called Ling Xian who had been taken as a disciple by a half-step celestial. This person was most likely that Ling Xian. Zhao Fu did not recognize the other person, but he felt that his identity was quite terrifying. The two of them had wanted to control the beetles to continue fighting with the giant, but they sensed something and looked at Zhao Fu. Even though they did not sense any power from Zhao Fu, their instincts told them that this person was incredibly dangerous. Seeing that the two of them had stopped, the others felt quite surprised and followed their gazes to find Zhao Fu. Facing everyone's gazes, Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Everyone, don't mind." Ling Xian dispelled his power and the violet giant dissipated into aura. He looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "Who are you, sir?" Could it be that he also had source energy? He did not know that Zhao Fu had pure source energy. His weakened source energy definitely could not compare to Zhao Fu's. The key thing was that Zhao Fu had many bronze shards within his body, causing Ling Xian's source energy to feel even more pressure. Ling Xian did not know that Zhao Fu had pure source energy. His weakened source energy definitely could not compare to Zhao Fu's. The key thing was that Zhao Fu had many bronze shards within his body, causing Ling Xian's source energy to feel even more pressure. The other person, a young man, did not look too good. His name was Chong Tian, and he had the bloodline of the insect ancestor. The insect ancestor was one of the primal chaos world's primogenitor insects, so he had terrifying power. However, he felt a trace of fear in his bloodline. Zhao Fu's evil immortal bloodline had devoured more than 1,000,000 bloodlines, and most of them were insect bloodlines. Even though Chong Tian had the primogenitor insect bloodline, facing Zhao Fu's crazily twisted evil immortal bloodline, he still felt fear. The others looked at Zhao Fu curiously. They did not know what Zhao Fu was to be able to make these two geniuses stop. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "I am not anyone, I just passed by this place and felt some energy ripples, so I came to take a look." Chong Tian asked him politely, "What bloodline do you have?" Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Why should I tell you?" A young man with an insect horn said coldly, "Do you know who he is?" "He is the young master of the heavenly armor ancestor insect and the heir of our insect valley." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "I don't care much about these things, so I don't know about Insect Valley and the heavenly armor ancestor insect." The young man with an insect horn was so angry that he wanted to say something. Chong Tian interrupted him and said, "It is okay if you don't know what Insect Valley is, but tell me what your bloodline is. Why would my bloodline be afraid?" Everyone looked at Zhao Fu in shock. Zhao Fu. They knew how terrifying Chong Tian's bloodline was. Although he didn't inherit the primogenitor insect's source bloodline, he was still a saint-grade bloodline and could be called a saint's son. Emperor-grade bloodlines were much lower in front of him, and they were extremely rare in the primal chaos world. Such a terrifying bloodline was actually afraid? Then, what was the bloodline of this young man? How could someone with a saint-grade bloodline be afraid? Zhao Fu smiled and said, "My bloodline is just that of a normal person." A cold intent appeared in Chong Tian's eyes. I don't want to hear people lie to me. Who are you? What bloodline do you have? Otherwise, I will personally take a look. A teen beside Ling Xian asked curiously, Senior brother, do you know who he is? Why does Chong Tian care so much about him? Ling Xian shook his head. I don't know. His body also gives off a power that suppresses me. I am also curious about who he is. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. A pretty girl said, Senior brother, don't you have source power? How can it suppress you? Ling Xian nodded. Everyone's gazes towards Zhao Fu became solemn. Although they didn't know what his identity was, they were sure that he wasn't weaker than their senior brother. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given off such power. Zhao Fu smiled and said, I'm really just a passerby. You don't have to mind me. Chong Tian's figure instantly disappeared as his claw ferociously swiped towards Zhao Fu with immense power. In an instant, Zhao Fu's figure was torn apart, and Zhao Fu slammed into the ground. A muffled sound rang out as a 10-meter-wide crater appeared in the ground. Everyone was confused. This person had been dealt with so quickly? However, Chong Tian frowned and looked to the side. He saw that Zhao Fu's figure had reappeared. What he had attacked was just an afterimage. After dodging his attack so easily, Chong Tian was clear about Zhao Fu's strength and did not casually attack again. Zhao Fu lightly smiled and said, If my bloodline hadn't reached the final stage, I would have been very interested in your bloodline. Now, however, I don't have much interest. Something flashed in Chong Tian's mind as his expression became serious and he said solemnly, You're that evil immortal. Chapter 2975. Volume 1, Chapter 415. Death. Now, Chong Tian remembered why he, who had the primogenitor insect bloodline, would feel fear. Moreover, it was not just fear but also a trace of disgust. It was the evil immortal bloodline, which countered the insect bloodline. Only the evil immortal bloodline could make him feel this way. Hearing this, everyone's expressions fell. The evil immortal's abnormal signs had just stopped, and they had never thought that they would encounter it so soon. Ling Xian revealed an understanding look. Zhao Fu lightly laughed as he said, That's right, I'm the evil immortal. Hearing Zhao Fu admit it, everyone could not help but feel even more afraid because they had heard how monstrous the evil immortal was. Chong Tian said coldly, Since you're the evil immortal, I can't let you leave. Zhao Fu did not mind as he said, If I want to leave, you won't be able to stop me. Chong Tian coldly laughed as he said, Is that so? You can give it a try. Zhao Fu lightly smiled as he said, I'll be leaving then. I'm sure we'll meet again in the future. Boom. Chong Tian immediately acted and a massive wave of power rippled out. His eyes became compound eyes and shot out countless rays of light. Each ray of light was like a circular space that shot towards Zhao Fu, causing the space around Zhao Fu to become complicated. This move was called Thousand Bug Void, and it was one of Chong Tian's primogenitor insect bloodline's abilities. Chong Tian did not tell Zhao Fu to give it a try for no reason. He had the confidence to say such a thing. He had trapped many people with this move before. Zhao Fu stood where he was and seemed to be surrounded by a gray circular space. There were many other circular spaces around him, and even if Zhao Fu immediately destroyed one of them, the other spaces would surge over and trap Zhao Fu. Chong Tian looked at Zhao Fu within the gray space and smiled as he said, You can try to escape now. Before Thousand Bug Void had been used, Zhao Fu would have had a slight chance of escaping. However, now that he had used it, it would not be easy for him to escape. Chong Tian was confident in this. Zhao Fu glanced at Chong Tian before his body turned into countless rainbow-colored energy and dissipated. Chong Tian's expression changed. He tried to sense Zhao Fu and realized that Zhao Fu had really disappeared. How is that possible? The others also looked at the empty space in shock. It felt too easy, as if there was no difficulty at all. Chong Tian's face was filled with anger, and his heart grew heavier. This inheritor of the evil immortal was truly terrifying, and was definitely the strongest opponent he had ever met. Ling Xian's expression was also solemn. If he had been trapped by the 1,000-bug space, he would definitely not have escaped so easily. After a while, Chong Tian said coldly, "Let's go back." The people from Insect Valley knew that Chong Tian was unhappy and didn't want to anger him. They didn't dare to say anything and followed Chong Tian to leave. He watched as Chong Tian and the others left. The purple-clothed girl was a little disappointed. Originally, I wanted to see who would be stronger between Chong Tian and senior brother. Ling Xian's expression softened. We just exchanged a few simple moves. We won't go all out because there's no need. The young girl replied. Ling Xian and Chong Tian were famous geniuses in the chaotic world, so it was impossible for them to go all out right away. The purple-clothed teen asked, "Senior brother, what should we do? Do we need to report that we met the evil immortal?" The elders in the sect all pay attention to the evil immortal. A girl said, "There is very little news regarding the evil immortal, and no one has ever heard of what kind of person he is. This time we personally met him, so this intel is really important." Ling Xian said, "All of you, report this matter truthfully." Everyone nodded their heads. The purple-clothed teen said, "This evil immortal bloodline just reached the final stage and he appeared in our Eastern Alliance. I think that the evil immortal definitely has a goal." The purple-clothed girl said solemnly, "That is for sure. Our Eastern Alliance and the first-generation evil immortal had a huge grudge. This generation evil immortal is definitely here to take revenge. I think that all the experts didn't expect that the evil immortal would come to the Eastern Alliance so quickly." The purple-clothed girl said curiously, "Is he really as terrifying as the rumors say? He doesn't seem too bad. He doesn't seem that crazy or evil." A serious-looking teen reminded her, "He's the evil immortal. You see that he seems easy to get along with, but by the time you realized how terrifying he is, it was already too late. Think about what the evil immortal did back then, and you'll understand. But in the end, it was too late." "I know," the young girl muttered. Ling Xian said softly, "From today onwards, the Eastern Alliance will face a calamity. No one knows what will happen in the future. Let's go back." Everyone nodded, but they still felt a bit worried. The news quickly spread, and the entire Eastern Alliance was shaken. They had thought that the evil immortal would hide somewhere and cultivate, only appearing after reaching the higher being realm. That would be the start of the calamity for the Eastern Alliance. However, they never thought that the evil immortal would appear in the Eastern Alliance so quickly, bringing forward the calamity for the Eastern Alliance by so much. The many experts of the Eastern Alliance who had gone out also hurriedly returned, and they switched from attacking to defending. Some of the more ancient factions ordered their people to keep a low profile in the future, and they also made preparations for the evil immortal to cause all sorts of things. Some of the more established factions did not pay much attention to this matter, as the evil immortal was not as terrifying as the rumors said. In the past, the evil immortal had caused a calamity, and they did not believe that the new evil immortal would be able to do so in a short period of time. Some even said that they would kill the evil immortal to help get rid of this scourge. After hearing about this, some people gloated and wanted to see the evil immortal take revenge, some people waited to see how things would develop, and some people came to the Eastern Alliance. At that moment, the Eastern Alliance became quite lively. Zhao Fu did not know about these things, and he stood on a mountainous region, looking at a monster in front of him with a strange expression. This monster was the stone monster that had come to life. After continuously chasing, it had finally caught up to the person it wanted to see. It was now crawling on the ground, looking at Zhao Fu affectionately. Even though it did not know what Zhao Fu was, it was clear that this person had given it life. Zhao Fu recognized that this was the massive stone that he had been sitting on, and he had never thought that it would also have life. However, Zhao Fu did not plan on taking it in and said, "Don't follow me, go do whatever you want." The stone monster seemed to understand Zhao Fu's words, and it looked at Zhao Fu with a disappointed and pitiful expression. Zhao Fu said, "I have no intention of giving you life. This is your own fortune, so you don't need to thank me. I have many things to take care of in the Eastern Alliance, and there might be many dangers. If you follow me, you'll be in deep danger, so don't follow me." The stone monster looked at Zhao Fu with its square eyes and lightly nodded. Zhao Fu looked at it before disappearing and hiding his power so that the stone monster could not sense him. Chapter 2976. Book 1, Chapter 416. Return. Seeing Zhao Fu leave, the stone monster lay on the ground in disappointment. It did not know what to do or where to go, and the person who had given it life did not want it. An hour or so later, a lively little girl with 2 braids and a beautiful middle-aged woman arrived. They had just been passing by, but they found that this large stone monster was quite strange. "Mother, what is it?" the little girl asked curiously as she looked at the stone monster with wide eyes. The beautiful middle-aged woman was quite surprised. This was the first time she had seen a creature like the stone monster. It was not a spirit or a monster, but it seemed to be alive. The stone monster looked at the mother and daughter curiously with one of its square-shaped eyes. The little girl walked towards the stone monster, and the beautiful middle-aged woman saw that the stone monster did not intend to harm anyone, so she did not stop the little girl. The little girl walked in front of the stone monster and asked in a childish voice, "What's your name?" The stone monster looked at the little girl in confusion. The little girl smiled and asked, "Can I touch you?" The stone monster lay there, and did not reply to the little girl. The little girl mustered up her courage, and stretched out her hand to touch the stone monster, while the stone monster stared at the little girl in front of it. The little girl said happily, "I feel that you're quite special. Can we be friends?" The rock monster seemed to have understood, and it nodded with a joyful expression. The little girl smiled and asked, "What about your family?" Thinking about Zhao Fu, who had abandoned it, the stone monster felt quite disappointed. Looking at the stone monster's pitiful appearance, the little girl asked, "Do you want to come to my house? We can play together every day." The stone monster happily nodded. The little girl looked at the beautiful middle-aged woman and asked, "Mother, can we take it back?" The beautiful middle-aged woman walked in front of the stone monster and smiled as she said, "It's fine to take it back, but I want to see what it is." The beautiful middle-aged woman placed a hand on the stone monster and a wave of energy spread out, entering the stone monster's body. The beautiful middle-aged woman's expression fell as her face became blood-red, and a terrifying energy bounced back. The beautiful woman's hand was knocked away, and she looked at the stone monster in shock. She had never thought that this stone monster would have such terrifying power. Moreover, this stone monster was not a creature that was born from the heavens and earth. It had been created by a terrifying expert. The beautiful woman did not know who the person who had created such a terrifying creature was, but he was definitely incredibly powerful. Out of all the experts she knew, none of them had such terrifying abilities. The stone monster had such power, and the beautiful woman did not want her daughter to take it back. However, it seemed that the stone monster did not have a master, and if it was raised, its power would not be underestimated, and it could become the most powerful person to protect her daughter. The little girl looked at the beautiful woman with hope and begged, "Mother, can you take him back? Look at how pitiful he is." The beautiful woman smiled as she said, "All right, bring it back." The little girl jumped up in joy. "That's great, Mother." The stone monster stood up happily. It had a new master. Following this, the beautiful woman brought the stone monster back, and the little girl rode the stone monster everywhere to play. Countless people were amazed. This was the first time they had seen a creature like the stone monster. Zhao Fu also came to the Eastern Alliance's headquarters. According to the information he had received, one of the Alliance Masters of the Eastern Alliance might have obtained the bronze shard. It was possible to obtain the bronze shard here, but they could not be sure if he had it. Moreover, this Alliance Master had not revealed any information, making it difficult for Zhao Fu to determine if he had it. How could he be sure that the Alliance Master had it? Apart from the Alliance Master, the Eastern Alliance controlled the eastern side of the outer world, and with such great strength, it was possible that they had it in their treasury. If he became a high-ranking member of the Eastern Alliance, Zhao Fu would most likely be able to find out about this. How would he start? By infiltrating the Eastern Alliance. Zhao Fu first gathered information and gained some understanding of the Eastern Alliance so that he could sneak in and obtain the bronze shard. Every alliance had 12 Alliance Masters, and the 12 Alliance Masters were split into 12 factions. Zhao Fu had heard that the 8th Alliance Master was an ugly woman. This woman was said to be ugly, but she was very powerful and treated her subordinates well. Apart from being a bit ugly, there was nothing wrong with her. Zhao Fu decided to start with her, and if he found that the Eastern Alliance did not have it, he would go to other places to collect it. A few hours later, Zhao Fu came to the 8th Alliance Master's territory and heard that someone was collecting a material. Zhao Fu just so happened to have that material, and that person was a high-ranking member of the 8th Alliance. If Zhao Fu wanted him to introduce him to the 8th Alliance, it would be easier. After coming to a room, a bearded, muscular man smiled and said, "You have what I need." Zhao Fu nodded and took out a pill bottle and threw it over, saying, "You can take a look." The bearded, muscular man was called Dongfang Hu, and after opening the pill bottle, he saw that there was a fiery red pill within. He lightly sniffed it and smiled as he said, "That's right, this is the blazing body forging pill that I need. Since you're so straightforward, I won't waste any more time. What do you want?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I want to join the Eastern Alliance and get a good position." Dongfang Hu said somewhat awkwardly, "Can you change it to something else? This isn't easy right now." Zhao Fu asked, "What is it?" Dongfang Hu said, "Before, this was quite easy. Because of that evil immortal, the Eastern Alliance is on high alert, and it will be quite difficult to plant people in." Zhao Fu took a step back and said, "Then I don't need a high position, I just need an ordinary one." Dongfang Hu thought about it and said, "All right, I agree." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Thank you." The two of them left the room and came to the border of the 8th Alliance's territory. They entered a building, and the people from the construction department all bowed. Dongfang Hu smiled as he said, "Right now, he's the manager here. In the future, all of you will listen to him." Everyone looked at Zhao Fu and replied, "Yes." Dongfang Hu turned to look at Zhao Fu and smiled as he said, "I'll leave this place to you. If there's anything you don't understand, ask the others and they'll tell you what to do." Zhao Fu nodded. After Dongfang Hu left, a middle-aged man with a beard bowed to Zhao Fu and handed a metal seal to Zhao Fu. "Sir, this is the Alliance seal. Everything within the Alliance requires the Alliance seal." Zhao Fu took the seal and looked at it. The seal was only 3 fingers wide, and there was an eagle carved on it. There was also an 8 carved on the side, and the words Han City were written below. Right now, Zhao Fu was most likely in Han City. With the seal, it meant that Zhao Fu was this city's deacon. Deacons did not have much power, and they were only responsible for managing a small area. The city lord was responsible for managing these deacons. Chapter 2977. Book 1. Chapter 417. Zhao Fu accepted the Union seal and asked, "What's your name?" The middle-aged man replied, "My name is Dongfang He." Zhao Fu nodded and said, "I need to know all kinds of information about this place." Dongfang He said, "I will report everything I know to you, Lord." After an hour, Zhao Fu had a general understanding of Han City. There were 17 deacons here, and Zhao Fu's current status was the weakest among the deacons. The area under his jurisdiction was small, and he did not get many benefits. Zhao Fu asked, "Is there any way to quickly raise one's status in the Union?" Dongfang He replied, "This can only be done by someone with a higher position." Zhao Fu said with a smile, "In other words, if I want to have a higher status, I must ask the city lord for it?" Dongfang He nodded. Zhao Fu said with a smile, "Tell me the information about the city lord." Dongfang He was a bit surprised. He had already guessed what Zhao Fu wanted to do, and he also knew that Zhao Fu would not stay in this place for too long. Dongfang He replied, "Yes." The city lord of Han City had already reached the emptiness realm, and he was a lecherous and timid person. A deacon wanted to offer him a beauty, so he got a better position. However, the situation in Han City was stable, and it was hard to change the position of deacon. Zhao Fu was not interested in the other positions of deacons. Even if his status was raised, he would still be a deacon. Zhao Fu was interested in the position of the city lord. However, the city lord was usually chosen from the more outstanding deacons. If Zhao Fu wanted to become the city lord, he had to become an outstanding deacon. After thinking for a while, Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang He and said, "Follow me in the future. I promise you that you will be rich and powerful." Dongfang He could also see that Zhao Fu was extraordinary. He smiled and bowed, "Thank you, Lord, for choosing me." Zhao Fu waited for an entire night before stealthily sneaking towards the city lord's mansion. Zhao Fu's method was quite direct. He directly snuck into the city lord's mansion and took control of the city lord. He would then forcefully promote the city lord to an excellent deacon before dethroning the city lord and becoming the new city lord. Although the city lord's cultivation base was at the emptiness realm, he was only an average emptiness realm cultivator. He was not very strong. Zhao Fu believed that he still had the ability to do so. Before, when Zhao Fu was at the Emperor Heaven realm, he could already fight with Void Realm experts. Now that Zhao Fu had obtained all sorts of terrifying powers, it would be quite troublesome for him to deal with powerful Void Realm experts, but it would be much easier for him to deal with ordinary Void Realm experts. Zhao Fu easily snuck into the city lord's mansion and arrived at a spacious and luxurious room. A skinny middle-aged man frowned. "What does that Eastern Who mean? Why did they suddenly send someone to Hanqing?" He was Han City's city lord, Dongfang Kong. Next to him was a cold-looking young man. He was called Dongfang Lu, and he was Han City's most powerful deacon. It was he who had married his big sister to Dongfang Kong and obtained his current position, and he replied, "I'm sure Eastern Who wants to dethrone the city lord and take control of Han City." Dongfang Kong said angrily, "It's just that I didn't do what he ordered me to do, yet he wants to replace me so quickly. Since he's being heartless, don't blame me for being unjust. I'll immediately serve another head deacon and no longer serve Eastern Who." A head deacon's position was much higher than a city lord's, and a city lord's position was only that of an intermediate deacon. Dongfang Lu nodded. Dongfang Lu was worried that his position would be threatened when Eastern Who suddenly sent someone to become Han City's head deacon, so he immediately went to find Dongfang Kong to discuss this. He understood that Dongfang Kong was not very strong, and adding on the fact that he had not completed Eastern Who's orders, it was likely that he would be replaced. His position would fall to rock bottom, and Dongfang Kong would have to sway left and right in order to survive. Dongfang Kong did not have his own opinion and asked, "Which head deacon do you think we should serve?" Dongfang Lu thought about it and said, "I think it's either a powerful head deacon or someone who has a conflict with Eastern Who. Apart from those two, it'll be very difficult for anyone else to protect us." Dongfang Kong said, "A powerful head deacon might not like us, so we'll find someone who has enmity with Eastern Who. I just want to be the city lord and don't have any other goals. Eastern Who forced me to do all of this, and I didn't do anything bad to him." Dongfang Lu smiled as he said, "The city lord isn't wrong at all. It's all because of Eastern Hu." Hearing this, Dongfang Kong grinned. Dongfang Lu continued to say, "However, we can't reveal this matter right now because Eastern Hu hasn't made it clear that he wants to replace us. We can continue to hide and fight back when necessary." Dongfang Kong smiled and nodded. "I don't think there's any need to go through so much trouble." A figure suddenly sounded out, causing the two people's expressions to fall. A terrifying aura spread out in the air as countless traces of blood-red qi leapt towards the two people. Dongfang Lu was only at the Emperor Heaven Realm, and the blood-red qi covered him, locking him in place. He was unable to resist at all. It could be seen the difference between Zhao Fu and ordinary Emperor Heaven Realm experts. Seeing the blood-red qi coming at him, Dongfang Kong immediately exploded out with a powerful power, forming a formless force field that blocked the blood-red qi. Just as Dongfang Kong was about to call out, the blood-red qi condensed into a massive hand and grabbed towards Dongfang Kong with terrifying power. The force field protecting Dongfang Kong was shattered, and the blood-red qi hand grabbed Dongfang Kong. Zhao Fu smiled as he walked out of the air. Dongfang Lu immediately recognized Zhao Fu and said, "You're the new head deacon?" As expected, Eastern Hu wanted to get rid of us from the start. Zhao Fu lightly laughed as he said, "I think you've misunderstood. I don't know if Eastern Hu wanted to or not, but getting rid of you is my own will." Dongfang Kong said in fear, "Don't kill me, I'll give you anything you want." That's right, his big sister, Dongfang Mei, is Han City's #1 beauty. As long as you don't kill me, I'll give her to you. Seeing Dongfang Kong, a Void Realm expert, act so cowardly in front of an Emperor Heaven Realm expert, Dongfang Lu felt quite disgusted and angry. However, in order to live, he could only say, "That's right, my big sister is Han City's #1 beauty." "Sir, are you not tempted?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I don't have such thoughts right now. You can die now." The blood-red qi turned into countless insects and crawled into the two people's bodies. Sensing this power, the two people were horrified to confirm that Zhao Fu was the evil celestial. The two people struggled in pain, but it was too late. In the end, the two people lost their strength and became puppets. Now, Zhao Fu could control them to do anything. Ordinary higher beings would not be able to tell because Zhao Fu was using the evil celestial's power. Chapter 2978. Book 1, Chapter 418, End of Book 1. After Zhao Fu controlled the two of them, he immediately had Dongfang Kong give out a series of orders, raising Zhao Fu to the highest position. Dongfang he looked quite shocked. How had Zhao Fu's status been raised so much after leaving for a while? It seemed that Zhao Fu was even more terrifying than he had thought. A beautiful woman with a graceful figure angrily ran into the room and looked at Dongfang Kong sitting in front of her as she said angrily, "Why did you give my little brother's position to someone else?" She was Dongfang Mei, Han City's #1 beauty. She did not know that Dongfang Kong had been controlled by Zhao Fu, and after hearing that her little brother had been crippled, she angrily ran over, wanting an explanation. Dongfang Kong did not say anything while Zhao Fu lightly laughed. "You're indeed quite good-looking." Dongfang Mei frowned and noticed that there was a mysterious cloaked person in the room and asked coldly, "Who are you?" Zhao Fu lightly smiled as he replied, "I'm the newly appointed deacon." Dongfang Mei said coldly, "So it's you." Zhao Fu laughed. Dongfang Mei angrily looked at Dongfang Kong and said, "Have him leave. I have something to say to you." Dongfang Kong did not reply. Dongfang Mei felt quite confused as to why Dongfang Kong would act like this. Just as she was about to say something, Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "You don't need to say anything. He's already under my control." Dongfang Mei felt quite startled and looked at Zhao Fu before quickly retreating. She never would have thought that Dongfang Kong would be silently controlled by someone in the city lord's residence, making her situation incredibly dangerous. Seeing that she wanted to run, Zhao Fu waved his hand and a wave of energy slammed the door shut. Dongfang Mei stopped and turned to look at Zhao Fu with an unsightly expression as she asked, "What do you want to do to me?" Zhao Fu lightly smiled and walked over to Dongfang Mei. A few hours later, Dongfang Mei lay on the ground with a red face while Zhao Fu put on his clothes. Dongfang Mei asked, "Who are you?" Zhao Fu said, "It's not a good time to talk about it now." Dongfang Mei continued, "Then what did you do to my husband and brother?" Zhao Fu glanced at her and said, "They are already under my control, and their souls have been devoured. Right now they are just two puppets." Dongfang Mei cursed angrily, "You bastard!" Zhao Fu said calmly, "You guys won't be any better off. Also, you better behave yourself. Otherwise, I'll destroy your entire family." Dongfang Mei was both angry and wronged. She looked at Zhao Fu with tears in her eyes. Even though she did not have any feelings for Dongfang Kong, and becoming a puppet would only affect her status, she did not feel too bad about it. However, the key thing was that her little brother had become a puppet, and she felt incredibly sad. Now that she had been bullied and threatened by Zhao Fu, all sorts of emotions welled up within her. Seeing Dongfang Mei cry, Zhao Fu helplessly hugged her and comforted her. "I won't treat you and your family unfairly. After I become the city lord, I will choose a deacon from your family, but your status is not limited to the city lord's wife. As for your brother, I can only apologize." Dongfang Mei felt a bit better, but she still angrily looked at Zhao Fu. It was evident that she would not forgive Zhao Fu so quickly. At this moment, there was a knock on the door and Dongfang he said, "Sir, I've already gathered the information you wanted." Zhao Fu nodded and looked at Dongfang Mei, who was in his embrace. He took some clothes and wrapped them around her body and sat on the seat before opening the door. Dongfang he entered the room and saw that Dongfang Kong and Dongfang Lu were on one side, while Zhao Fu was sitting on the city lord's seat, holding the disheveled city lord's wife in his arms. Dongfang he understood the current situation and was even more shocked at how powerful Zhao Fu was, as well as Zhao Fu's identity. The information that Zhao Fu had asked Dongfang he to gather was information that could be appointed as the city lord. Now that he had become the highest-ranking deacon, the next step was to become the city lord. The city lord could only be appointed by the great deacon, and Dongfang who was one of them. Zhao Fu did not want to trouble him too much, and he wanted to find another deacon to appoint him as the city lord. Of course, Dongfang Kong would not be abolished before he made a big mistake. As such, Zhao Fu could only make Dongfang Kong disappear and then inherit the position of city lord. The head attendant's power had reached the spirit realm, and Zhao Fu could not control it, so he could not use this method. Zhao Fu asked, "Who do you think will be the easiest to convince among the many deacons?" Dongfang he replied, "Most city lords are loyal to a certain deacon, and the city lord of Han City was originally loyal to Dongfang Hu. If Sir chooses someone else, it will definitely cause some dispute. Sir was arranged by Dongfang Hu, so I think Dongfang Hu should be the easiest." In order to avoid his identity being exposed, Zhao Fu did not want to interact with Dongfang Hu. However, Dongfang Hu was the most suitable person, so Zhao Fu could only look for him. Dongfang Mei was in Zhao Fu's embrace, and hearing Zhao Fu's words, she could feel that the people behind Zhao Fu were not ordinary. Zhao Fu thought for a moment before saying, "All right, I understand. I'll go find Dongfang Hu in a bit." Dongfang he bowed and said, "I'll be going now." Dongfang Mei looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "What are your plans and goals?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "It's fine to tell you. I want to become one of the most powerful people in the Eighth Alliance." Dongfang Mei felt quite shocked and did not believe that Zhao Fu could do it. However, thinking about how mysterious and powerful Zhao Fu was, perhaps he could do it. Seeing Zhao Fu tell her such an important matter, Dongfang Mei asked in a small voice, "What kind of person do you take me for?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Of course you're my woman." Dongfang Mei inwardly let out a sigh of relief. She had been afraid that Zhao Fu was just toying with her, so she looked at Zhao Fu and said, "If you treat me better in the future, I can forgive you. Also, you have to return my little brother to me." Dongfang Lu was of no use to Zhao Fu, so he smiled and said, "Sure." Only then did Dongfang Mei give a trace of a smile and hug Zhao Fu as she snuggled into Zhao Fu's embrace. 2 hours later, Han City's city lord suddenly died, and news of this spread. Everyone looked quite confused and the various deacons hurried over. Dongfang Kong was a void realm cultivator, and even though he was quite weak, he would not die so easily. There was something very suspicious about this, so the deacons wanted to come and see what had happened. To avoid trouble, Zhao Fu directly cremated Dongfang Kong's corpse so that there would be no witnesses. Within the hall, the deacons looked at the urn in front of them and sensed the aura. It was indeed Dongfang Kong's ashes, and a round-faced young man asked, "Wasn't the city lord fine 2 days ago? How did he suddenly die?" Chapter 2979. Book 1, Chapter 419, End of Book 1. Dongfang Mei pretended to be sad as she said, "I'm not sure either. My husband suddenly coughed up blood and died." A white-haired elder asked, "Then why did you cremate the city lord's corpse so quickly? Such a big matter should be reported to the higher-up." Dongfang Mei did not know how to reply. Zhao Fu stood up and said, "I'll take responsibility for this matter. If there's anything else, you can leave now." Everyone looked at Zhao Fu, and a young man asked, "Who are you?" Zhao Fu smiled as he replied, "I'm Dongfang Jun, and I'm Han City's highest-ranking deacon." The deacons looked at Zhao Fu with serious expressions. They had just received news that Han City's highest-ranking deacon had been replaced, but not long after, the city lord had died. This matter was simply too strange, and the city lord's death had a lot to do with this person in front of them. Zhao Fu did not want to waste words and continued to say, "I'll go find Deacon Dongfang Hu and take over the position of city lord." Everyone came to their senses. It turned out that Zhao Fu was Dongfang Hu's subordinate, and it was possible that Dongfang Hu wanted to get rid of Dongfang Kong. No one had any objections. They could only obey and could not resist. Some people not only did not ask how Dongfang Kong had died, but they instead started to congratulate Zhao Fu. After taking care of these matters, Zhao Fu went to where Dongfang Hu was. Dongfang Hu felt quite surprised. "Why have you come to find me?" Zhao Fu said, "Dongfang Kong has died and I want to take over the position of city lord." Dongfang Hu slightly frowned and looked at Zhao Fu as he asked, "His death has something to do with you?" Zhao Fu did not want to hide anything and nodded before telling Dongfang Hu what Dongfang Kong had said. Dongfang Hu felt quite angry. Dongfang Kong deserves to die. After a while, Dongfang Hu looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Even though he deserves to die, what is your purpose?" "I didn't want to ask, but I think you must have some other purpose." Zhao Fu said with a smile, "What purpose can I have? I just want to obtain higher power. Don't you want that?" Dongfang Hu laughed and said, "Me too." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "I want to become the city of Han's city lord. I wonder if you can agree?" Dongfang Hu looked at Zhao Fu and said, "I believe that in the future, your status will not be weaker than mine. We will still be of the same generation, and I can appoint you as the city of Han's city lord." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Thank you, Brother Tiger." Dongfang Hu smiled and said, "You're welcome. I might need your help in the future." After resolving this matter, Zhao Fu became Han City's city lord. It had only been a day since Zhao Fu had arrived at Han City, and yet Zhao Fu's status had changed so much. Dongfang he was also promoted to be the steward of the city lord mansion. Dongfang he smiled. It seemed that he had made the right choice. He had a premonition that his status would become even higher. Zhao Fu did not have any other plans for becoming the city lord for now, because raising his status would attract too much attention. As such, Zhao Fu decided to take this position for now. A beautiful woman with a voluptuous figure and a virtuous aura, wearing white mourning clothes, and a pure-looking young girl walked in. She bowed to Zhao Fu and said, "Sir City Lord, please give me my husband's ashes so that I can help him build a tomb." Zhao Fu felt quite strange and asked, "You are?" The beautiful woman replied, "My name is Dongfang Qing, and this is my daughter, Dongfang Yu. Dongfang Kong was my ex-husband." Zhao Fu continued to ask, "What's going on?" Dongfang Qing gave a simple explanation. It turned out that Dongfang Kong had a wife and daughter, but he was too infatuated with Dongfang Mei. In order to curry favor with Dongfang Mei, he divorced his wife, and Dongfang Qing took his daughter to live in a nearby city. Hearing that Dongfang Kong had passed away, Dongfang Qing remembered their past relationship and wanted to help Dongfang Kong with his funeral matters. Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang Qing. In actuality, Dongfang Qing was quite a beauty, but to ordinary people, Dongfang Mei was more attractive. Facing Zhao Fu's gaze, Dongfang Qing frowned and said, "Sir City Lord, please conduct yourself." Zhao Fu retracted his gaze and smiled as he said, "I can give Dongfang Kong's ashes to you, but you have to agree to a request of mine." Dongfang Qing had already guessed Zhao Fu's goal, and she said with a cold expression, "I won't agree to such an unreasonable request." Zhao Fu laughed as he said, "It just so happens that this is an unreasonable request of mine." Dongfang Qing's beautiful eyes glared at Zhao Fu as she said, "I never thought that the new city lord would be such a bastard. He's simply scum." Dongfang Yu said angrily, "Big brother Dongfang Bai is pursuing my mother. If you dare to harm us, Big brother Dongfang Bai won't let you off." Zhao Fu walked over to the two of them and smiled as he asked, "Who is Dongfang Bai?" Dongfang Yu said confidently, "He's the city lord of the nearby Willow City, and he's even more powerful than you." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded as he took out a wooden box and said, "I'll give this to you." Seeing that Zhao Fu was afraid of Dongfang Bai, Dongfang Qing inwardly let out a sigh of relief and took the wooden box. Dongfang Yu revealed a smile. She also liked Dongfang Bai. She really wanted her mother to be with Dongfang Bai, but her mother had always tactfully refused, saying that she had a husband. Now that her father was dead, her mother should be able to be with big brother Dongfang Bai. When she was 4 or 5 years old, Dongfang Yu had left with Dongfang Qing, and she did not have much feelings for her father. Dongfang Qing bowed and smiled as she said, "Thank you, Sir City Lord." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "You're welcome." After speaking, Zhao Fu hugged Dongfang Qing. Dongfang Qing had never thought that Zhao Fu would act like this and hurriedly struggled. Dongfang Yu was startled and angrily went up, wanting to pull away Zhao Fu, this bastard. A few hours later, Zhao Fu smiled as he looked at the mother and daughter in his arms. "You're both not bad. Dongfang Kong doesn't cherish you, so I'll cherish you." Dongfang Qing angrily and embarrassedly glared at Zhao Fu. Dongfang Yu looked at Zhao Fu with a red face and looked at Zhao Fu's perfect face, seeming to be entranced and not thinking about big brother Dongfang Bai. Zhao Fu said, "If you want to help Dongfang Kong build a tomb, I'll get people to do it. In the future, you can stay in Han City." Dongfang Qing replied, "No, Willow City is our home now." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I'll go with you and bring the family over." Dongfang Yu said, "If big brother Dongfang Bai knows that you've done such a thing for us, he'll definitely kill you." Zhao Fu said confidently, "Don't worry, I won't be harmed in any way." Dongfang Qing pouted, "Who's worried about your safety?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I'll go with you then." Chapter 2980. Volume 1, Chapter 420. Zhao Fu arrived at Willow City. Dongfang Qing looked at him bitterly and said, "I don't want to see any conflict between you and Dongfang Bai." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. "Pack your things and we'll leave." Dongfang Qing nodded. This time, Zhao Fu did not have anything to do. He just wanted to walk around and learn a bit about the internal affairs of the Eastern Alliance. Now that he had just become a city lord, his next goal was to become a Grand Deacon. He needed some time to plan. The place that Dongfang Qing was staying in was a simple yet elegant small courtyard. There were even some flowers planted in the front courtyard. Zhao Fu was waiting outside while Dongfang Qing and Dongfang Yu were tidying up the room. At that moment, a handsome man in white who looked to be around 27 or 28 years old walked in. He had been smiling, but after seeing Zhao Fu, he frowned and asked, "Who are you? Why are you here?" Zhao Fu looked at him and said, "You are Dongfang Bai, right?" Dongfang Bai replied, "I am." Zhao Fu smiled and replied, "I'm Han City's city lord." Dongfang Jun. Dongfang Bai narrowed his eyes. He had heard of this matter and knew that this Dongfang Jun in front of him was highly regarded by Dongfang Hu. Moreover, Dongfang Kong's death might also be related to him. Originally, Dongfang Bai wanted to go to Han City with Dongfang Qing to prevent any accidents from happening to Dongfang Qing, but he was tactfully refused. "Why did he appear here?" Dongfang Bai said coldly. "What did you do to them?" Zhao Fu said with a smile, "Nothing, they're fine." At that moment, Dongfang Qing and Dongfang Yu walked over and looked at Dongfang Bai. Dongfang Yu smiled and called out, "Big brother Dongfang Bai." Seeing that the two of them were fine, Dongfang felt relieved. He smiled and said, "How did it go?" Dongfang Yu smiled and said, "It's done. Now, let's pack up and return to Han City." Dongfang Bai looked surprised. "What? Back to Hanqing?" Dongfang Yu blushed. She glanced at Zhao Fu and nodded. Dongfang Bai asked anxiously, "Why? Aren't you all doing well in Willow City? Why are you back in Han City?" Dongfang Qing sighed. "I'm sorry, thank you for taking care of me all these years." Dongfang Bai angrily looked at Zhao Fu. "Did you do something to them?" Zhao Fu chuckled. "What do you think?" Dongfang Bai was enraged and gave off a powerful aura as he prepared to attack Zhao Fu. Dongfang Qing hurriedly said, "No!" Dongfang Bai stopped and looked at Dongfang Qing as he said, "If he threatened you, there's no need to film him, I'll take care of it." Dongfang Qing turned his head and spoke in a depressed tone. "He didn't threaten us, it was us who wanted to go back." Dongfang Bai looked at Zhao Fu and understood that there was definitely something going on. He did not hesitate and gave off a powerful aura as he punched towards Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu was about to make a move. Dongfang Qing blocked in front of Zhao Fu. "No!" Dongfang Qing understood that Zhao Fu's strength was far above Dongfang Bai's. If Dongfang Bai and Zhao Fu fought, it would definitely be Dongfang Bai who would be injured. Dongfang Bai had treated them well over the years and had always taken care of them, so Dongfang Qing did not want Dongfang Bai to be injured. Dongfang Bai stopped and said angrily, "Why?" Dongfang Qing could not reply. She could not say that she and her daughter had been harmed by that bastard Zhao Fu, so she could only silently stand there. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "They're my women now." Dongfang Bai's eyes gave off killing intent and his body quickly disappeared, passing by Dongfang Qing and appearing behind Zhao Fu as he punched towards Zhao Fu. Boom! Zhao Fu exploded out with a massive power, sending Dongfang Bai flying back and crashing to the ground. Dongfang Bai looked quite confused as he said, "I never thought that Zhao Fu would be so powerful." Dongfang Yu quickly went over and helped Dongfang Bai up as she asked, "Big brother Bai, are you alright?" Dongfang Bai's expression was cold as he looked at Zhao Fu and replied, "I'm fine." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I held back just then, or else you would have been in trouble. You're not a match for me, so it's best if you behave yourself." Dongfang Bai looked at Zhao Fu furiously. Even though he was quite angry, what Zhao Fu said was the truth, and he could not refute it. Now, he understood why Dongfang Qing had left with Zhao Fu. It was because she could not resist Zhao Fu. Dongfang Bai said coldly, "Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you're stronger than me. There are many people who are stronger than you." Zhao Fu laughed as he said, I didn't want to act against you, but since you're looking for trouble, I'll help you out. You promised me that you wouldn't clash with Dongfang Bai. Dongfang Qing angrily said. Dongfang Yu looked at Zhao Fu hopefully. She did not want to see Zhao Fu and Dongfang Bai fight, and she would feel sad no matter which side was injured. Looking at the mother and daughter, Zhao Fu said, All right, I'll do as you say. Hurry up and pack your things and come with me. Dongfang Qing looked at Dongfang Bai and said apologetically, I'm sorry, it's impossible between us. Also, thank you for taking care of me all these years. I'll think of other ways to repay you. Please leave now. Dongfang Bai looked quite uncomfortable. He did not have any power, so what could he do by staying here? In the end, Dongfang Bai dejectedly left. Looking at Dongfang Bai leave, Dongfang Qing felt quite sad. If it was not for Zhao Fu, perhaps she and Dongfang Bai would have had some chance. After all, it was impossible for them to not have any feelings for each other. However, that bastard Zhao Fu had appeared. Dongfang Qing turned to look at Zhao Fu and vigorously patted Zhao Fu before returning to her room to continue packing. Dongfang Yu obediently returned to her room. Zhao Fu smiled as he stood there. He did not mention this matter at all. After returning to Han City, Dongfang Mei coldly looked at Dongfang Qing and her mother. She had never thought that things would become like this. Not only had Zhao Fu obtained her, but he had also obtained Dongfang Kong's ex-wife. In the future, wouldn't they have to serve Zhao Fu together? Dongfang Qing also had a cold expression. She would not forget that Dongfang Kong had abandoned her and her daughter for the sake of this woman in front of her. Dongfang Mei looked at Zhao Fu and said coldly, Is it not enough to have me? Zhao Fu smiled as he replied, Of course it's not enough. Dongfang Mei angrily glared at Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu lightly smiled and worked hard to ease the tension between the two of them. In the next few days, a beautiful woman in a red dress joined in. She was also an attendant, and in order to curry favor with Zhao Fu, she took the initiative to offer herself. She was called Dongfang Li. After a few days, Zhao Fu started to think about how to become a great attendant. Great attendants were higher-ups in the Eastern Alliance, and it was quite difficult to get one. Only those who had made great contributions would be promoted to a great attendant in a short period of time. Now, the key question was how to make great contributions. Should he reveal the evil immortal's identity? Chapter 2981. Book 1, Chapter 421, End of Book 1. With how much the Eastern Alliance hated the evil immortal, if news of the evil immortal leaked out, it would be even worse. If a large group of experts surrounded him, Zhao Fu's identity would become even more prominent. As such, he had to find other ways to make great contributions. Dongfang Li smiled as she asked, What are you thinking about? Zhao Fu said, I'm thinking about how to become a head deacon. Dongfang Qing said in shock, Didn't you just become a city lord a few days ago? Why do you want to become a head deacon? Zhao Fu smiled as he said, Do you think I'll limit myself to becoming a city lord? Dongfang Mei lightly laughed as she said, I know that you don't just want to be a city lord. I like that you're ambitious, and I want to see you become a heaven deacon. Heaven deacons were the most powerful people apart from the Alliance Master, and this was Zhao Fu's goal. As long as he could become a heaven deacon, Zhao Fu would be able to collect bronze shards. However, there were only a few heaven deacons, and it was incredibly difficult to become one. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, I'm here to become a heaven deacon. Dongfang Li said, If you want to become a head deacon, you need to be favored by at least 3 deacons. I know a deacon's son who has a strange illness, and as long as you can cure him, he most likely won't refuse you. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, Is that so? You're telling me it's that deacon? Dongfang Li nodded. A middle-aged man with a scar on his face, dressed in green clothes, looked at Zhao Fu and asked, Do you have the ability to cure my son? Zhao Fu replied, I have some healing methods, but I'll need to see the young master's illness first." The middle-aged man nodded. "What do you need then?" Zhao Fu replied, "I want to receive Sir's support and become a head deacon." The middle-aged man was not surprised and nodded. "If you can cure my son, I can support you to become a head deacon, and I'll owe you a favor. However, if you can't cure him, that's fine." The middle-aged man's son had already tried many treatments, but none of them had been effective, so he was willing to give it a try. Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. He would not suffer any losses. The middle-aged man said, "Come with me." Following this, Zhao Fu and the others followed the middle-aged man to a room. There was a weak-looking young man lying on the bed, his body giving off a gray aura. Zhao Fu looked at the young man and was not sure what illness he had, so he said, "Sir, please leave for a moment." The middle-aged man nodded and left the room before closing the door. Dongfang Li looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "Can you heal him?" Zhao Fu replied, "I'm not sure, but I can try." Saint 77, Saint 7, Demon, the Saint the 487, the Saint Era Zhao Qinqi 17117 of the deity. Dongfang Li sensed the blood flowing out of Zhao Fu's body and felt a great sense of oppression. She understood that Zhao Fu's bloodline was far superior to hers, and she started to feel curious about Zhao Fu's identity. Zhao Fu controlled the blood to fly towards the Saint 77 and entered the Saint 7's body. A powerful wave of blood energy spread out and a large amount of gray aura flowed out, spreading out like a thick gray fog. This gray aura was incredibly corrosive and wanted to enter Zhao Fu and the Saint 777's bodies and gather towards them. Zhao Fu released a defensive barrier that covered himself and Dongfang Li, preventing the gray aura from coming closer. Zhao Fu continued to activate the blood energy. The Saint 777's body gave off a blood-red light and even more gray aura spread out. After a while, the gray aura started to weaken before slowly disappearing. However, the gray aura in the room was like a thick fog, showing no signs of dissipating. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and grabbed at the air, causing a formless energy to spread out. Countless traces of gray aura quickly gathered, forming an egg-sized ball of gray fog. This thing was harmful and was not easy to get rid of, so Zhao Fu put it away. He went up to check on the young man's body. The young man's face had regained some color, and his breathing was smooth. Everything in his body was normal. The young man's illness had been successfully cured. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Open the door, he is cured." Dongfang Li smiled and nodded. If she could cure this young man, then she would be 1/3 of the way to becoming a great deacon. The middle-aged man walked in delight and looked at the young man on the bed. He had never thought that Zhao Fu would be able to cure his son, and he excitedly went up to check. After finding that there were no problems, he smiled and said to Zhao Fu, "Thank you, sir." Zhao Fu smiled. "You're welcome." The middle-aged man asked, "What kind of strange disease does my son have?" Zhao Fu did not know, and he did not want to pursue the matter. He said, "I'm not sure, but the young man has been cured by me. Sir, you don't have to worry." The middle-aged man smiled as he said, "All right, I'll do what I promised you. I'll support you in becoming a great deacon, and if you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can come and find me. I'll do my best to help you." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Thank you." The middle-aged man happily said, "I should be thanking you. Stay and be my guest in the future, and let me properly take care of you." Zhao Fu thought about it and decided that he would need the middle-aged man's support in the future, so he did not refuse. After the celebration, Zhao Fu and Dongfang Li returned to Han City. Dongfang Mei smiled and asked, "Has the matter been resolved?" Dongfang Li nodded. "I don't know what illness that young man had, but he was cured by our husband in the end. He's only 2 more human deacons before our husband can become a great deacon." Dongfang Mei smiled as she said, I feel that this is progressing quite quickly. Soon, I'll be a great deacon's wife. Dongfang Qing said worriedly. I feel that if you do it step by step, you'll definitely become a great figure. Don't be too fast, or else you'll make others feel fearful and dissatisfied. Zhao Fu hugged her and smiled as he said, I know. Dongfang Qing rolled her eyes at Zhao Fu and did not struggle. Dongfang Li asked, what should we do now? Do we need to find those 2 human deacons to support us? Zhao Fu smiled as he said, let's gather some information first. There's no need for things to progress so quickly, or else we won't attract too much attention. Dongfang Li nodded. Dongfang Mei smiled and hugged Zhao Fu as she said, then we'll properly celebrate today. You can bully us however you want. Dongfang Li smiled and nodded. Dongfang Qing's face became red. She did not know what to do. She liked staying by Zhao Fu's side more and more, and she started to accept Zhao Fu as her man. Chapter 2982. Volume 1, Chapter 422. Chapter 422. According to the information he had gathered, Zhao Fu quickly found a second suitable person. His name was Dongfang Shan, and he was one of the more ordinary deacons. As long as someone gave him something valuable, he would approve of them. Zhao Fu came to the courtyard where Dongfang Shan was sitting and bowed as he said, I greet sir. Dongfang Shan was an ordinary-looking man, and he smiled as he said, I'm sure I don't need to explain the rules here, right? Zhao Fu took out a wooden box and handed it over, saying, This is a gift for sir. Dongfang Shan stretched out his hand and grabbed, causing the wooden box to fly into his hand. He opened it and saw many rays of blue light shoot out. Within the wooden box was a blue gem, and Dongfang Shan felt quite delighted as he put it away. What do you want? Zhao Fu replied, I want to receive sir's acknowledgement. Dongfang Shan lightly laughed as he said, That's no problem. You want to become a head attendant, right? How many people's acknowledgement have you received? Zhao Fu replied, Including sir and 2 others. Dongfang Shan smiled as he said, Give me some more good things and I'll help you with the last person. Zhao Fu felt quite delighted and immediately took out some things and handed them over, saying, Thank you, sir. Zhao Fu did not take out anything too precious because he was only at the Emperor Heaven realm. If he took out something too precious, others would become suspicious and might even be in danger. Dongfang Shan took the things and looked at them before putting them away in satisfaction and smiling as he said, I'll introduce you to someone called Dongfang Ku. If you say that I told you to go, he'll give me some face. As for whether or not he acknowledges you, I can't guarantee anything. Zhao Fu nodded, I understand. Following this, Zhao Fu followed Dongfang Shan's instructions and found Dongfang Ku. Dongfang Ku was an elderly man who wore green robes and was teaching 10 or so young men and women in an empty area. Zhao Fu walked over and bowed. Dongfang Ku did not look at Zhao Fu and asked, What is it? Zhao Fu said, I was recommended by Lord Dongfang Mountain. I wish to gain his recognition and become a grand deacon. Dongfang Ku said calmly, If you give Dongfang Shan something good, he will approve of you. However, I am not so easily fooled. Zhao Fu was a little surprised. Didn't they say that it was easy to gain his approval? Dongfang Ku then said, However, I can give you a chance. As long as you can do it, I will acknowledge you. Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang Ku and asked, What's the matter? Dongfang Ku said, I have a grandson named Dongfang Ru. I don't know where he is now. Please help me find him. Hearing this, Zhao Fu felt that it was quite simple. It was just finding a person, so he smiled and said, Sure. Dongfang Ku reminded, He has a secret treasure of mine on him that can conceal his aura. If I don't search carefully, I might not be able to find him. Dongfang Ku threw a small bottle to Zhao Fu and said, The blood in this bottle belongs to my grandson. You can use the aura that the bloodline gives off to find him. Zhao Fu nodded and said, I'll go and find him for you right now. Zhao Fu took the bottle of blood and went to an empty area. Dongfang Ku did not know where his grandson was, and the area was quite big, making it quite difficult to find him. At that moment, Zhao Fu thought of one of the great immortal evil beast's abilities, which was called the corpse flesh-seeking bug. To use this ability, one had to split off a part of one's flesh and create a strange bug that could accurately find a person's location. Moreover, it was extremely sensitive to auras and could search a large area. Zhao Fu poured the bottle of blood onto the ground and pressed his hand against the blood on the ground. An evil and twisting power spread out, and Zhao Fu's hand turned into a mass of flesh and blood that spread out. The flesh and blood squirmed and changed, looking quite horrifying. Within the mass of flesh and blood, transparent bugs that were the size of soybeans and looked like ladybugs crawled out. There were many of them, and they flew out in all directions. Inside a gambling house, a delicate and pretty young man was excitedly gathered with other people. A small bug was resting on his body, but no one noticed it. Suddenly, the young man felt a chill as a hand landed on his shoulder. The young man was Dongfang Ruo, and he immediately realized that his grandfather had sent people to capture him. He immediately wanted to use an item to escape, but a wave of power locked him in place. Dongfang returned and saw a man wearing a cloak. "Did my grandfather send people to capture me?" Zhao Fu nodded. Dongfang Ruo said angrily, "I don't want to go back, I want to play for a while." Zhao Fu did not care about this. "You don't have a choice right now." Zhao Fu grabbed Dongfang Ruo's arm and walked out. Dongfang Ruo vigorously struggled but could not break free, and she said angrily, "If you don't let go of me, I'll tell my grandfather that you bullied me and you're dead." At that moment, the people in the gambling den came over, and a ferocious-looking man said, "This guest doesn't want to leave, so you can't take him away." Zhao Fu lightly laughed as he said, "Hurry up and scram. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." The ferocious-looking man laughed as he said, "An Emperor Heaven Realm expert like you dares to say such a thing? It's not too late to kneel and apologize, or else you'll die a horrible death." Dongfang Ruo immediately called out, "That's right, hurry up and kill him. I can give you money." But a clear sound rang out as Dongfang Ruo was slapped in the face by Zhao Fu. Half of her face swelled up, and the pain and humiliation caused Dongfang Ruo to cry. The ferocious-looking man and the others looked furious and attacked Zhao Fu. Chi, many tendrils grew out of Zhao Fu's body, making him look like he was forged from black iron. They pierced through the bodies of the people who rushed over, causing blood to fly everywhere as cries continuously sounded out. Seeing this scene, the people in the surroundings looked quite startled and hurriedly retreated to avoid trouble. Dongfang Ruo was so scared that her face became pale, and she did not dare to say anything else. Zhao Fu put away the tendrils and the ferocious-looking man and the others fell to the ground. Some people cried out in pain, while others had already died. Zhao Fu was expressionless as he pulled Dongfang Ruo's body and continued to walk out. "How dare you! You actually dare to injure my people!" A loud shout rang out and a tall young man rushed in. The tall young man looked at Zhao Fu and furiously yelled, "Who are you?" Zhao Fu replied, "Han City's city lord." The tall young man felt quite surprised. "An Emperor Heaven Realm expert like you can become a city lord? However, even if you're a city lord, since you killed my people today, you must—" Zhao Fu looked at the young man in front of him and calmly cut him off. Scram. Chapter 2983. Volume 1, Chapter 423. The tall young man couldn't take it anymore and ferociously punched towards Zhao Fu with a flood of energy. Zhao Fu punched out with a simple punch. Bang! A muffled explosion sounded out as the two fists collided, causing a massive shockwave to ripple out. The flood of energy was completely destroyed, and the tall young man was forced back 5 or 6 steps while Zhao Fu did not move back at all. The tall young man looked quite confused. He had never thought that Zhao Fu would be so powerful that he, a Void Realm expert, could not defeat an Emperor Heaven Realm expert. The people in the surroundings were also quite shocked. This city of Han's City Lord was not just powerful. He could actually suppress a Void Realm expert. Zhao Fu looked at the tall young man and said, "I'll give you one more chance, piss off." The tall young man looked quite furious, but he did not dare to attack. However, he did not want to move either, as that would be too embarrassing. As the tall young man hesitated, Zhao Fu's body disappeared and reappeared in front of the tall young man, and he vigorously kicked towards the tall young man. Bang! The tall young man was sent flying and crashed against a wall, causing it to crack, and he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Arg! The tall young man furiously roared and exploded out with immense power. Red flames appeared around him as his body instantly disappeared and reappeared in front of Zhao Fu, and he punched towards Zhao Fu with a punch that seemed to be able to destroy space. Bang! A muffled explosion sounded out as Zhao Fu moved even faster and punched the tall young man's abdomen. The tall young man powerlessly fell to the ground and fainted. The surroundings fell silent, and no one dared to say anything. They all feared Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu turned and looked at Dongfang Ruo as he said, "Hurry up and follow me." Dongfang Ruo was so scared that her face became pale. She hurriedly went up and left with Zhao Fu. News quickly spread, and everyone focused on this city of Han's City Lord. After returning to that empty space, Dongfang Ku looked at his nervous and scared grandson with a calm expression. He already knew what had happened. Dongfang Ku looked at Zhao Fu. Right now, he was more curious about Zhao Fu. Before, he had underestimated Zhao Fu. He had thought that Zhao Fu had been bribed with treasures to gain the deacon's approval. He hadn't expected that Zhao Fu himself would be so powerful and have such a bright future. Dongfang Ku said, "After this is done, I will acknowledge you as I promised." Zhao Fu said with a smile. "Thank you, sir." Dongfang Ku continued, "The person you injured is a deacon's subordinate. You should pay attention to this. Maybe he will harm you. If anything happens, you can come to me." Dongfang Ku valued Zhao Fu's future more now, so he wanted to support Zhao Fu. There was definitely no harm in doing so. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Thank you, sir. I also want to apologize to you for hitting the young master." Dongfang Ku smiled as he said, "Don't mind this. My grandson should be taught a lesson in case he causes trouble in the future." Zhao Fu said, "I'll be taking my leave then." Now that he had obtained the approval of 3 deacons, Zhao Fu could become a head deacon. He would have to serve in the alliance, so Zhao Fu wanted to immediately go back and take care of this matter. Dongfang Ku nodded. Zhao Fu turned and left, disappearing. Seeing Zhao Fu disappear, Dongfang Ru relaxed and said with a wronged expression, "Grandpa, that person was so terrifying, it hurt so much." Dongfang Ku glared at Dongfang Ruo and said, "Be more well-behaved in the future. If you cause trouble, even I won't be able to protect you. Moreover, that Dongfang Jun isn't simple at all, and his status will soon surpass mine. When that time comes, even I'll have to be courteous to him." Dongfang Ruo looked quite shocked as she said, "That fast? He's just in the Emperor Heaven Realm." Dongfang Ku said seriously, "If you don't believe me, just wait and see. He'll soon shine brilliantly." Back at Han City, Dongfang Li smiled as she said, "Is it done?" Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. "I need to go to the Alliance to make a request. If nothing unexpected happens, I'll become a head deacon." Dongfang Li smiled as she said, "Congratulations, husband." Dongfang Yu also said happily, "Congratulations, big brother Jun." Dongfang Qing felt quite embarrassed and said, "Congratulations." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I'll go to the Alliance to make a request, and I'll celebrate with you all later." The women smiled and nodded. Zhao Fu submitted the request for the position of head deacon, and the 3 deacons received the information. They gave letters of approval to Zhao Fu to the Alliance, and Zhao Fu soon received the head deacon's appointment. After hearing about this, Dongfang Hu immediately came to congratulate Zhao Fu. Dongfang Hu had long since expected that Zhao Fu would soon become an existence on the same level as him, but he had not expected it to happen so quickly. It had only been a few days, and he felt quite shocked. He felt that Zhao Fu's status would continue to rise. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "There's no need to be so courteous, Brother Hu. If it wasn't for you introducing me to the Alliance, I wouldn't be who I am today. I'll stay here to entertain you." Dongfang Hu smiled as he said, "No problem. I'll also have a few friends to introduce you to." Now, Dongfang Hu wanted to pull Zhao Fu into his circle. This would be mutually beneficial, and more importantly, he would be able to consolidate his own faction. Zhao Fu nodded. Following this, Dongfang Hu called over 4 people, 3 men and 1 woman. One was dressed in black and gave off a calm aura, and he was called Dongfang Yi. One was bald and gave off a tall aura, and he was called Dongfang Mi. One was called Dongfang Wu, and the last woman was called Dongfang Rong. The 4 of them heard about Zhao Fu and were very interested in Zhao Fu, the person who had become a great deacon the fastest. Dongfang Wu smiled as he said, "The news about you has just spread, and now that I've seen it for myself, you're indeed extraordinary." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "No, outsiders are exaggerating. You're all Brother Hu's friends, so you'll be my friends in the future. Let me properly entertain everyone." At the banquet, everyone interacted amicably, and the relationship between the 2 sides became quite good. After the banquet, Zhao Fu stood under the eaves and looked at the bright moon in the sky, thinking about what would happen in the future. Now that he was a great deacon, he would be a human deacon, an earth deacon, and finally a heaven deacon. He hoped that there were bronze shards here, or else Zhao Fu's efforts would have been for nothing. Dongfang Mei hugged Zhao Fu from behind and smiled as she said, "What are you thinking about? Should we celebrate and congratulate you on becoming a great deacon?" Dongfang Li smiled as she said, "I also want to hear your plans." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "There's no rush, we'll talk about it after a while." Dongfang Qing said softly, "You're quite an unfathomable person, and I don't know when I'll find out your true identity. However, it's fine even if I don't know, I've resigned myself to my fate. Just don't forget about me when you go there in the future." Zhao Fu gave a slight smile and lightly nodded. Chapter 2984. Volume 1, Chapter 424. War. To become a human deacon, one needed to be acknowledged by an earth deacon. A human deacon's status in the Alliance was quite high, and earth deacons were rarely appointed. Only those who had made great contributions to the Alliance would be promoted to a human deacon. Otherwise, it would take decades of test. Zhao Fu did not have the time to think about how to make a great contribution. Right now, the Eastern Alliance cared about the evil celestial the most. As long as this was beneficial to the Eastern Alliance, they would be greatly rewarded. Zhao Fu wanted to think of a way to not expose his identity and not attract too much attention. He heard that someone was researching how to counter the evil celestial's power. No one understood the evil celestial's power better than Zhao Fu, and if he was the one researching it, he would definitely be able to do it. Of course, in order to not attract too much attention, the effects could not be too good. A day later, Zhao Fu found an ordinary-looking middle-aged woman. She was called Dongfang Yu, and she was an earth deacon. According to Tian Deacon's orders, she was researching how to counter the evil celestial's power. Zhao Fu bowed and said, "Sir, I want to join the research to counter the evil celestial's power and help the Eastern Alliance defend against the evil celestial." Dongfang Yu smiled as she said, "I think I've heard of you before. You're that person who just became a head deacon, right? Why are you so impatient to advance so soon?" Zhao Fu hid his ambition as he replied, "That's right, I'm also working for the Eastern Alliance." Dongfang Yu lightly laughed as she said, "All right. Seeing how confident you are, you must have some confidence. If you can really develop a way to counter the evil celestial's power, you'll have made a great contribution, and I'll make an exception to promote you to an Earth Deacon." Zhao Fu said gratefully, "Thank you, sir." Dongfang Yu brought Zhao Fu to a secret room. This secret room was quite big, and there were many people doing all sorts of things. Some were researching formations, some were researching medicine, some were researching insects, and some were researching various powers. Their goal was to research how to counter the evil celestial's power. An elderly man with white hair and a long beard wearing a long robe bowed when he saw Dongfang Yu bring a mysterious person over. "Greetings, sir." Dongfang Yu nodded. "I've brought someone with me. Perhaps he'll be of some use in researching the immortal evil force." The old man glanced at Zhao Fu and replied, "I understand." Dongfang Yu smiled and said, "I'll leave this place to you." The old man nodded. After Dongfang Yu left, the old man looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "What can you do?" Zhao Fu chuckled and said, "Can I take a look first?" The old man frowned. "Then look. If there's anything, you can look for me directly. If there's nothing, don't disturb me. I have a lot of things to do now." Zhao Fu nodded with a smile. After the old man left, Zhao Fu looked at the people around him and felt that it was quite funny. They did not understand much about the power of the evil immortal. A beautiful woman in white robes with a graceful figure called out unhappily when she saw Zhao Fu's expression, "What are you laughing at?" Zhao Fu felt quite surprised and looked at the beautiful woman as he replied, "Can't I laugh a little?" The woman was called Dongfang Shui, and she said bluntly, "We're working so hard here for the sake of the Eastern Alliance. What's so funny about it? Do you know the difficulties that the Eastern Alliance is facing? Do you know how much help we'll be to the Eastern Alliance if we succeed?" Zhao Fu chuckled, "But I don't feel like you've made any progress." Dongfang Shui said, "Even so, you can't laugh. You're tarnishing our hard work." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "All right. I won't laugh." Dongfang Shui said angrily, "You said you wouldn't laugh, so why are you laughing?" Zhao Fu said as he lightly laughed, "I'm not laughing at you, so why can't I laugh? Also, I'm also here for the sake of the Eastern Alliance." Dongfang Shui crossed her arms and said, "Then let's see what you're capable of." Zhao Fu said, "Watch closely. I'm more useful than all of you anyway." Everyone was enraged by his words, and they all looked at Zhao Fu angrily as if he was insulting them. Dongfang Shui said, "All right. I'll watch and see how you do your research. If you can't, then I'll teach you a lesson." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. Dongfang Shui coldly harumphed and was just about to leave. Zhao Fu said, "I need a separate room to do my research." Dongfang Shui said with displeasure, "Why can you have a separate room?" At this moment, the elderly man looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Give him a separate room." Hearing the elder speak, Dongfang Shui glared at Zhao Fu and didn't say anything else. A few people helped Zhao Fu prepare a room, and Zhao Fu put on an act and asked for a lot of materials before starting to research them. Dongfang Shui looked at Zhao Fu's room and decided to come back in a few days to see how he would retort. On the third day, Zhao Fu lazily walked out of his room. Zhao Fu had slept in his room for the past 3 days, so in the eyes of everyone else, he had been doing research for 3 days. Dongfang Shui was the first to provoke Zhao Fu. "How was it? Weren't you supposed to be very powerful? Did you manage to find anything?" Zhao Fu looked at her and smiled as he said, "What will you do if I manage to find a way to counter the evil immortal?" Dongfang Shui didn't believe that Zhao Fu would be able to find anything in such a short period of time. She said, "Whatever you say." Zhao Fu chuckled. "All right then," Dongfang Shui said, "if your research doesn't succeed, then you'll be my slave from now on and listen to all of my orders." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Sure." Dongfang Shui said, "Show me the results of your research right now." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "After 3 days of research, I've discovered a type of power that can counter the evil immortal, and it's quite effective. Everyone's gazes fell upon Zhao Fu, feeling quite surprised. They had never thought that Zhao Fu would really be able to find something in just 3 days. The elder walked over with a serious expression and asked, "What type of power?" A confident smile appeared on Zhao Fu's face as he took out a platinum-colored orb of light and replied, "It's this type of power." The elder stretched out his hand and grabbed the orb of light into his hand before walking to a table at the side. On the table was a palm-sized blood-red stone that gave off an evil twisting power. This was an evil immortal stone, and it contained evil immortal power. Everyone gathered over curiously, wanting to see what effects it had. The elder tossed the orb of light forward, and the platinum-colored orb of light flew towards the blood-colored stone. Sensing this, the blood-colored stone immediately gave off a blood-colored aura. The platinum-colored orb of light shined on the blood-colored aura, causing it to quickly dissipate. Chapter 2985. Volume 1, Chapter 425. Battle. This really was useful. Seeing this scene, everyone felt quite delighted. Even though they did not know how effective it was, they could tell that this power was indeed useful. Dongfang Shui frowned and had a bad premonition. The elder controlled the orb of light to continue flying towards the stone. The orb of light flew into the stone, and the stone gave off a blood-red aura, as well as a white-gold light. After a while, the stone became an ordinary stone, and it did not give off any evil immortal power, nor did it have the power of the orb of light. The elder smiled. This power can indeed counter evil immortals. Even though it's not very effective, it's not bad. This is a great improvement. Everyone else smiled. Even though they had not been the ones to develop this power, they were still quite happy. Dongfang Shui felt quite complicated. She was happy that she had developed a power that countered evil immortals, but the person who had done this was someone she hated. Moreover, she had an agreement with him. The elder smiled as he looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "What kind of power is this?" Zhao Fu smiled as he replied, "This power is formed by fusing moon power and sun power through special methods. The power of the evil immortal was originally related to the 8th sun source. The power of the 8th sun could restrain the power of the evil immortal, and could also strengthen the power of the evil immortal. It mainly depended on how it was used. The power of the moon was a power that opposed the power of the sun, so it could also restrain the evil immortal." The elder smiled as he nodded. "You've done a great service. Come with me to meet the Lord." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Yes." Dongfang Yu looked at Zhao Fu in delight as she said, "I never thought that you'd gain something so quickly." Zhao Fu said humbly, "Thank you for your appreciation, sir." Dongfang Yu said with a smile, "How was that power created? Cover it up for me. I'll report this matter to Attendant Tian, and Attendant Tian will report this matter to the Alliance Master. If the Alliance Master values this power, you'll be greatly rewarded. Becoming a attendant should not be an issue." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Thank you, sir." Zhao Fu took out a crystal containing sun power and a crystal containing moon power. Using a secret technique, he fused the two powers together and produced a white gold ball of light. Dongfang Yu nodded with a smile and said, "All right, wait for my news here. I'll immediately report this matter to the higher-ups." "Yes," Zhao Fu and the old man answered. Dongfang Yu came to a large hall and bowed to a fat young man. "Sir, I've done what you asked me to do." The chubby young man's name was Dongfang Fei, and he smiled as he said, "Is that so? Show it to me." Dongfang Yu took out a platinum-colored orb of light and an evil immortal stone and fused the two together, causing numerous blood-red auras to emerge from the stone. Dongfang Fei smiled as he said, "This power is indeed quite effective. If you and I go to meet the Alliance Master, she'll be quite happy." Following this, Dongfang Fei brought Dongfang Yu to an exquisite room, where an ugly woman sat. She was the 8th Alliance Master, Dongfang Yi. Dongfang Fei smiled as he said, "Alliance Master, we've already developed a power that counters the evil immortals, and it's quite effective." Dongfang Ye felt quite surprised and asked, "What power?" Dongfang Fei looked at Dongfang Yu. Dongfang Yu came up and started to explain this power. After seeing Dongfang Yu's display, Dongfang Ye smiled as she said, "This power is quite useful to the Eastern Alliance. You've all contributed greatly." Dongfang Fei smiled as he said, "This is what we should do." Dongfang Ye smiled as she said, "This power is quite basic and I need to research it a bit. Perhaps it'll be quite effective against the evil immortals, and we'll have another way to deal with them in the future." Dongfang Fei nodded. "We'll go now and not disturb the Alliance Master." The two of them left the room. Dongfang Fei smiled as he said, "Looks like the Alliance Master is quite satisfied with this power. You've done a great service, so I'll reward you." Dongfang Yu smiled as she said, "Thank you, sir." Following this, Dongfang Yu returned to her room and looked at Zhao Fu and the elder, who were waiting. She happily smiled as she said, "The Alliance Master is quite satisfied with this power. Lord Attendant Tian has given me many rewards, and Dongfang Jun, I'll now give you the position of attendant." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Thank you, sir." Dongfang Yu looked at the elder and said, "Elderly, even though your research was not successful, you've worked hard. I'll reward you later." The elder smiled as he said, "It's our honor to be able to research and counter the evil immortals. The rewards are not important, we just hope that we'll be able to play an important role in dealing with the evil immortals in the future." Dongfang Yu smiled as she said, What they did not know was that the evil immortals were right next to them. Moreover, the power seemed to be able to counter the evil immortals' power, but it was completely ineffective against Zhao Fu. Could not be forgotten that Zhao Fu had 8 pure days source energy and 12 pure months source energy. The elder and Zhao Fu returned to the secret room, and the elder's attitude towards Zhao Fu became much more courteous. He stood on the stage and announced, "Dongfang Jun's research has caught the Alliance Master's attention, and he has been promoted to attendant. Everyone, congratulations." Hearing that they had received the Alliance Master's attention, everyone happily and vigorously clapped. The old man continued, "We've worked hard for this research as well. Lord Deacon will give us a good reward later." Everyone became even more excited and enthusiastic. Dongfang Shui was a little depressed as she looked at Zhao Fu with her beautiful eyes. She found that she had underestimated Zhao Fu far too much. If she had known that this would happen, she wouldn't have made that agreement with him. She hoped that he would forget about that agreement. After a brief celebration, everyone left the secret room. Now that their research had been successful, there was no need for them to stay there any longer. Dongfang Shui also wanted to blend into the crowd and leave. She was thinking that she would never see Zhao Fu again. "Are you trying to run away?" A voice sounded out from behind Dongfang Shui. Dongfang Shui immediately turned to Zhao Fu and said, "I'm not." Zhao Fu smiled as he asked, "Then why are you leaving?" Dongfang Shui explained, "I have something to do, so can't I leave for a bit?" Zhao Fu smiled as he replied, "No problem, you can leave. Remember our agreement." Dongfang Shui was a little surprised. I didn't think that Zhao Fu would let her leave. Most importantly, he didn't make things difficult for her. Dongfang Shui wanted to ask Zhao Fu about it, but Zhao Fu had already left by himself. Right now, he was in a hurry to accept the position of administrator and did not have time to waste on Dongfang Shui. As such, he did not bicker with her about this matter. Chapter 2986, Volume 1, Chapter 426. Battle. The news of Zhao Fu becoming a human deacon quickly spread. Dongfang, who looked quite confused. He had underestimated Zhao Fu too much. Before, he had thought that Zhao Fu would become an existence on the same level as him, but Zhao Fu had surpassed him so quickly. How long had it been since Zhao Fu had joined the Eastern Alliance? This was simply too fast. Perhaps one day, he would become a Heaven Deacon or even the Alliance Master of the Eighth Alliance. Dongfang, who looked quite excited. At that moment, 3 people came over. They were Dongfang Mi and the other 2, and it was evident that they had also received the news. Dongfang Hu smiled as he said, "You're here too." Dongfang Mi smiled as he nodded. "I never thought that after celebrating him becoming a head deacon a few days ago, he would become a human deacon." Dongfang Hu said with a smile, "I didn't think of that either. He probably won't be a deacon for too long. I think he'll become a deacon soon." Dongfang Wu was quite shocked as he said, "That's right." Dongfang Hu smiled as he said, "Yes, I have a feeling." Dongfang Rong said, "It's rare for a human deacon to be appointed like this. I wonder what he did to suddenly become a human deacon." Dongfang Hu replied, "It seems that he researched an effective way to counter the evil immortal's power, so he made an exception and promoted him to a human deacon. Otherwise, how could he have done it so quickly?" Dongfang Rong felt quite surprised. "I never thought that he would have such an ability." Dongfang Hu smiled as he said, "Since everyone is here, let's go congratulate him." The 3 of them nodded. Dongfang Ku looked quite surprised. Even though he had expected that Zhao Fu would become a human deacon very quickly and had wanted to get on good terms with Zhao Fu, he had never thought that Zhao Fu would rise up so quickly. Dongfang Ku had investigated Zhao Fu's identity and found that it was quite mysterious. He had been introduced by Dongfang Hu, so he wondered if Dongfang Hu knew who he was. However, it most likely had nothing to do with the evil immortal. Otherwise, he would not have researched an effective way to counter the evil immortal's power. Dongfang Ku felt quite uneasy about Zhao Fu rising up so quickly, as if something big was about to happen. A ferocious-looking young man frowned. He was called Dongfang Li and he was a deacon. The person who Zhao Fu had rewarded last time was one of his people. He had been thinking about how to take revenge on Zhao Fu, but he had never thought that Zhao Fu's status would rise so quickly. Now that Zhao Fu's status was the same as his, it would be quite difficult for him to make a move against Zhao Fu. Moreover, Zhao Fu had just made a great contribution, so it would not be good for him to act. However, he did not want to endure this. He would not be wrong. Within a hall, Dongfang Bai's expression was quite serious. He had never thought that Zhao Fu would rise so quickly. No matter if it was status or power, he could not compare to Zhao Fu at all. What right did he have to bring Dongfang Qing and her mother back? Within a hall, Dongfang Bai looked quite serious. He had never thought that Zhao Fu would rise up so quickly. No matter if it was status or power, he could not compare to Zhao Fu at all. What right did he have to bring Dongfang Qing and her mother back? Seeing her little brother like this, Dongfang Hanyue comforted him, saying, "Don't think too much about that woman. Big Sis will take revenge for you. Even though he's a human deacon, his cultivation is only at the Emperor Heaven realm, so it will be quite easy to deal with him. However, let's wait for things to settle down first." 1 week passed. Many people came to Zhao Fu's residence to congratulate him. Being a human deacon was a great advantage, and if one wanted to become a great deacon, one had to be acknowledged by a human deacon. As such, everyone naturally wanted to curry favor with Zhao Fu. Facing everyone's attempts to curry favor with him, Zhao Fu did not reject them. After all, this would be of great benefit to him. Zhao Fu started to use his authority to ask about the bronze shard, but he was unable to find any information. Perhaps Zhao Fu's status was still too low. If he became an Earth Deacon, he would be able to obtain even more high-level information. Becoming an Earth Deacon was much more difficult than becoming a human deacon. Under normal circumstances, it would only be possible to become an Earth Deacon every 100 years or so, and one also needed to make great contributions and receive the favor of a Heaven Deacon. Only then would one be able to become an Earth Deacon. How was Zhao Fu going to make a great contribution? He had to make even more contributions than this time, as he was going to become an Earth Deacon. If he didn't make great contributions, he would not be able to become an Earth Deacon. Moreover, Zhao Fu could not participate in matters related to the evil immortal. If he did anything related to the evil immortal, people would become suspicious of Zhao Fu's background. Right now, the most important thing was how to make great contributions. Zhao Fu did not have any information on how to do this for now. Zhao Fu received an order to head to a certain region to take care of some matters. Zhao Fu was now a human deacon, and the only ones who could give him orders were Earth Deacons and Heaven Deacons. Zhao Fu didn't object to this at all. He obeyed the order and headed to the Sixth Alliance, which was the territory of the Sixth Alliance. After walking into a forest, two figures appeared in front of and behind Zhao Fu. One was Dongfang Hanyue, the other was Dongfang Li. Both of them were Soul Realm experts, and so Zhao Fu wasn't afraid at all. Although he probably wouldn't be able to defeat Soul Realm experts, escaping shouldn't be a problem. Dongfang Hanyue looked at Zhao Fu with her beautiful eyes. "You're quite confident. You're able to remain so calm even when surrounded by the two of us." Zhao Fu said with a smile, "I don't think I know the two of you. What business do you have with me?" Dongfang Li said coldly, "You've forgotten already, kid? Whose people did you beat up earlier?" Zhao Fu suddenly remembered what had happened at the gambling den. Laughing, he said, "So that's what it was about. I was a bit rash. I'm willing to pay for your losses." Dongfang Li laughed coldly. "Do you think I'll let you off just like that?" Zhao Fu asked, "What do you want?" Dongfang Li laughed coldly. "I want you to kneel down, apologize to me, and cripple your own arms. If you do that, I can forget about this matter." Dongfang Hanyue said, "My demands aren't too high. Just apologize to my little brother and bring that mother and daughter pair back in one piece." Zhao Fu let out a soft laugh. "And if I refuse?" Dongfang Li said coldly, "You're courting death. We'll help you." Dongfang Hanyue tried to persuade him. "I don't want to take your life. So long as you agree to my demands, I'll immediately leave. As for anything else, I won't care." Zhao Fu laughed softly. "Sorry. I refuse." Dongfang Li let out a cold snort, and a surge of powerful energy emanated from his body. Zhao Fu immediately prepared to use his energy to flee this region. Boom! An enormous black shadow suddenly fell from the sky, causing the ground to shake violently. Rubble flew everywhere, and countless clouds of dust filled the air, interrupting Dongfang Li and Zhao Fu. When the dust settled, an enormous stone golem appeared. It was oval-shaped, had a single square-shaped eye, and had bug-like legs. It was the stone golem that Zhao Fu had discarded. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.